What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am so excited you are here. We're gonna learn together. This is the Tarver Academy Summer Professional Development. We're gonna learn. Learning's happening. It's going down today. We're about to get started. My name is Tyler. I run Tarver Academy. It's an online resource for teachers and students and educators, and it's a great community where people just get involved and learn and get better. And I throw resources to you guys, throw ideas around. It's just a lot of fun. Just a whole lot of fun, Tarver Academy. So if you need anything, I'm here. TarverAcademy.com has a ton of resources and things that you can go to check out. A little bit about me, just so you know, you don't think I'm just like, hey, here's a random YouTuber talking about, videos or whatever. My name's Tyler. I started out teaching high school math, and then I moved into a tech director / facilitator role. Then I was a principal of a school, 6th through 12th grade. 6th through 12th grade. Fun ages. That's good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Never any drama, 6th through 12th grade. No drama. And our school had waivers from the state, so we did a lot of online, we did a lot of blended, we did a lot of in-person learning, all the above. So we get to learn a lot, make some mistakes, do some stuff right, and try to learn from everything we did. Then after that, I went to central office, and I was director of curriculum instruction, and now I'm the dean of NLC College. And I'm so excited to be here, learning and growing with you guys. I'm also giving a little bit of time for people to jump in, get started, and we're about to go through some of the housekeeping stuff. We're gonna do a little check-in right now at the beginning, and then at the end of this video, at the end of this training, we're going to have a chance for you to get a certificate showing that you actually showed up and you did the learning, okay? I think that this training and the other trainings that you are gonna get the chance to be a part of this summer are gonna help you grow as an educator. And if you grow as an educator, all it does is help the students and the community that you live in. And so let's try our best to learn something, take something away from this that we can put in our repertoire and get better with. Okay, so the first thing I need you guys to do is I need us to check in, okay? And this check-in, what it does is it timestamps when you are here so that you might not need this later, but if your administrator or whoever comes back and they're like, how do I know you didn't just click to the end? This shows that you were here at the beginning. So you can scan the QR code that is on the screen if you have your cell phone. And on my phone with me, get your phone out. I'll use my wallet, Atlanta Braves wallet. Film that, you just hold your phone over that QR code that you see on the screen. You'll see something pop up at the top. Click that and it'll take you to where you can fill out that you were here. It's very short, very quick. I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to do that right now. Go ahead, scan the QR code, go to the website, check in, and when you do that, you will get an email. If you do not get an email immediately, this happened, I told you, I was a tech director for a long time, okay? I'd say a long time. I was a tech director long enough to know that if you don't get that email that you're filling out right now, it's because you typed your email address in wrong. That's exactly what happens. 19 times out of 19 and a half times, that's what happens. So go ahead and go to that. Remember, at the end of this session, there's gonna be another QR code that you're gonna scan that is going to give you the certification saying that you actually did the training. Both of these are time-stamped. So if your administrator or whoever's in charge of PD for your district wants to see that and be like, how do I know you did this? You've got your check-in email that is time-stamped by me, not by you. It's into a PDF or it's into that email. And then you will also have the timestamp on your certificate showing that you did this. Okay, so hopefully everybody is getting that done. Okay, giving you a little bit of time. If you have any trouble, just keep trying because I think it's pretty important to get that logged in. Now, while we're doing that, if you're finishing that up, or if you can hear me, what I would love for you to do is I would love for you to hit the red subscribe button. This is my YouTube channel, Tarver Academy. That's what I call it. It's kind of where I got this started. I had this before I had the website, and then I put up the website to put all the resources and all the stuff I was doing. But if you would hit the red subscribe button right now, that would be huge. That would be just super cool of you. And that way, you can hopefully see some of the other trainings that I'm doing, see some videos I do throughout the year to help teachers, to help students, to have fun and learn together. So hit that red subscribe button. Did you do it? Did you? You get the like too, the little thumbs up. That's just YouTube etiquette. You hit the thumbs up. It's just really nice to do. So you want to hit the thumbs up button, you can. And I would love to start this. How about this? in the chat, okay? Because if you're watching this on my website, which is where you can watch it, that's fine. You're not gonna see the chat, but if you click and watch this on YouTube, you're gonna see a chat rolling on the side of the screen. Start it off. I want you guys in the chat to say who you are, like give your name, tell us what you teach and where you teach, okay? If you're an administrator, you can say that I'm a principal, or you can say your central office, whatever you do. I've got some people that have signed up for this that are aspiring educators. So this is great to say, I wanna be an educator, I wanna be an English teacher for high school, throw that in there. If you wanna be a kindergarten teacher, toss that in there, say you're in school. It's a great way to network because I think there is an amazing community of educators here wanting to learn and grow together. And I think that it's great if we look out for each other. So throw in the chat, I want you to say your name, what you teach, and where you teach. Throw that in the chat. All right, man, we're doing good. We're doing good. It's our warm up. We're feeling good. We're stretching it out. It's always good to stretch before you stretch. I don't know, I heard some friends say that, so I say it from time to time. Okay, next thing. This is another little thing. I've got one right here. So I've written a couple books. I've done Superheroes Need Sleep Too. This is a children's book. It's like a nap time book, so you don't have to read that. But this one I think is super relevant for you. This is the Baller Teacher Playbook, and in it I have like practical advice. It's 18 chapters. So the idea is that you could do this like once a week with your team for a full semester or every other week for a year and try to improve your teaching every week. I'm not doing this to sell it to you. I'm doing this to say I'm giving some of these away all summer to people that are participating in this. So if you want a chance to win one of these, or I think I probably got some other educator books. If you're like, I don't really want your book, Tyler, I got a ton of educator books. I'll send them to you. All you got to do, follow me on Instagram at Tyler Tarver. Follow me at Tyler Tarver on Instagram, and I'm gonna be giving these out throughout the summer. You might be the person I give it to. So follow me on Instagram, and then throw something in your Instagram story if you want, just to increase your chances of me seeing it. So I'm just gonna be clicking through. I see people follow on Instagram. I'm gonna throw out stuff to them. So random people will get it. You might not, but you won't if you don't. So there we go. Y'all feeling good? Does everybody feel good? Everybody throw in the chat who they are, where they teach, what they teach. Okay, so to explain also what this is, you are watching, this is a live broadcast. So this is going as a YouTube premiere or a full-on live video. So one of the two. Either way, that chat is happening live. Everybody that jumps into this video at any point is gonna be watching it at the same time as you. So it's great to get in the chat and talk, discuss, ask questions, give input. If we ask a question in the video, you can type it in your notes, but you can also type it in the chat. You can copy paste from the chat. It's a great way for you to be a part of this live broadcast, okay? So if you have a Google Notes, if you have a notes document, if you wanna take notes by hand, I've got a template for notes if you want. It sent it to you whenever you filled out your email. It should have been on that page whenever you did your check-in at the beginning. If not, it's on like every PD page. I have my website, tarveracademy.com. Click on PD and you get a free notes template, or you can take notes in your own doc. However you want to do it, take notes, write down stuff that's relevant to you, and copy paste stuff that people put in the chat. There's gonna be people in the chat that are way smarter than me. And so I'd love for you to copy paste that into the notes, and you can take that and make your teaching game elevate. So next thing, while we're getting logged in, people are still jumping in here. They're still jumping in the video, giving you a few minutes to do that. We're also, if you want to watch these videos, because after this ends, it's going to be gone off of here. However, I'm going to be putting all of these trainings, all like 30 something trainings. I think it's over like 120 hours worth of trainings. I'm putting all of that for people that join what I call the Tarver Academy Honor Roll. It's a small group of educators who are trying to get better every week, and I send out weekly emails during the school year to where you're getting templates, you're getting resources, back to school starter kits, you're getting templates for Google Forms, trainings, PDs, tons of stuff every single week delivered to your inbox, and also you have access to all of these trainings. That is available if you go to tarveracademy.com/honor roll if you want to. I think it's a great decision. I think it's a great decision. Nobody's in here. Who am I talking to? I'm not talking to anybody. Okay, y'all feel good? Y'all ready to start? Y'all feel good? This is a little warm up. We'll explain what's going on. Everybody feel good? 1 to 10. Put in the chat how you feel today, or give me this, how about this? Give me an emoji of how you're feeling today. That'd be better, 1 to 10, or give me an emoji, I'd love to see it, or just give me a word, you're like, I don't want to do an emoji. Give me a word, how you feeling today, and let's get rolling. Remember, input in the chat, take notes, learn, grow. Welcome to the best professional development that you're gonna do. Not guaranteed, but it's an opinion, but it's also true, but it might be biased, but it's gonna be a great summer. It's gonna be a great training. Hope you guys learn something. Hope this adds you value that you can then bring to your students and make your school, your community, yourself better in some way. Guys, we're about to get started. Y'all excited? Y'all ready? We're about to do this. Let's get ready to learn and have fun. Tarver Academy. Let's go. Let's go. Hit it. Hit it. Let's go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Tarver Academy. I don't know what that was, so sorry about that. Welcome to Tarver Academy. My name's Tyler, and it's not the Tarver Academy. Justin Timberlake's gonna walk in and be like, drop the. It's from Social Network, whatever. So today what we're gonna talk about is we're gonna go through some different resources and how to create those resources utilizing Google Slides. So this is an intermediate training, and so it's not gonna be as much walkthrough. If you sat through the Google Slides like beginner session, that was a whole lot of like walking through, here are the settings, here's all this. We're actually gonna talk about putting it into practice. And so that's what we wanna focus on today. So I'm gonna give you a list of kind of how today's gonna roll. That way, if you're like, this is not what I want, cool, you can bounce, okay? Leave right now, save yourself some time and come back for a different session. So this is what we've got. So we're gonna get started. I'm gonna kind of go through some of the main use of Google Slides, how I use it, showing it for presentations. It's kind of like a quick overview of Google Slides. Some of it you may know, some of it may be new to you, and it might just be good to hear another human being process out loud about how they utilize Google Slides. So kind of like an intro to Google Slides for intermediate. Then after that, I'm gonna take something that I'm gonna mention in the intro, and I'm gonna actually lean into some help slides, some Google tutorial slides, how to get those. I've got those already created, but I wanna kind of talk through them and how you can adapt them to what you need in your classroom. So it's kind of a walkthrough of how to use those help link reference slides, whatever you call them, hub slides. I think you can do a lot of cool stuff with things related to it or with those exact slides. Then I have a guest speaker. Her name is Meg Abo, and she is a fantastic educator, and her and I spoke for a while, and she showed a ton of stuff that she does with slides, and she's one of the people that inspired me to start leaning into creating resources with Google Slides, because she showed me all of the cool stuff you can do to customize and expand that. So then after her session, we're gonna go in and we're actually gonna create a daily student journal together. So it's the process of actually creating with Google Slides. And so we're gonna go in, we're gonna go into the master slides, we're gonna build that all the way through, we're gonna build that together, and then we're gonna follow up by showing you how to import that into Google Classroom, how to use that in your class. So we're gonna create it, and then we're gonna go through the process of showing you how to assign it. So it's like the full process of creating a resource using slides. And at the very end, I wanna show you a resource I made with slides that you can have, you can adapt, you can adjust. It can be used for a bell ringer or like a workbook, but it's in Google Slides. That's how I use Google Slides, almost like it's a packet that I hand students that is digital that I can adapt. And so here's the deal. I love creating resources and I love using Google Slides. And one of the programs that kind of goes hand in hand with Google Slides and creating is Canva. I don't know if you've used Canva, but I had like 2 or 3 other resources I wanted to walk through with you using Google Slides, but they start in Canva. So what I did was actually put those in my Canva, creating with Canva for education session that's happening. If you want access to that, you can hit me up, or you can look at the calendar, or check out the session list. If you're on the honor roll, you can check in there, tarveracademy.com/honor roll. What's up, honor roll members? If you're here, it's good to see you. You guys are an incredible community. But you can go in and check out that session on Canva for education. So go in, check that out if you want to see a couple more ways that you can do Canva and integrate it in. I just didn't want to bring them and overlap too much. I want it to be kind of unique for today. So we're about to get started. First one is I'm going to go through a quick overview of some stuff you can do with Google Slides, getting started with Google Slides to kick off Google Slides for intermediate training. Let's go. So here we go. Let's learn. We're talking about Google Slides today, and I'm not going to be like, here's how you make a Google Slide. I will do that, but I'm also going to show you a couple of the entry-level tips that I think can save you time, frustration, and just help you be more productive when you're using Google Slides. Google Slides Honestly, if you'd asked me like I don't know, even like 8 months ago, I'd have been like, I mean, yeah, it's fine. Some people like it. It's pretty much just like a watered down PowerPoint that is accessible anywhere. However, over the past 5 or 6 months, I would say if there's like an Olympic medal ceremony for Google products for education, the top three standing up there getting a medal: YouTube, Google Forms, and Google Slides. It is one of the top three Google products they have. If you don't count like just Googling things to know like how to spell stuff, which let's not lie, we all do that. It happens. Okay, so let's jump into it. So I'm going to start from the beginning. Some people go to slides.google.com. I don't like that. I like starting from my Google Drive. And the reason is you can choose where that file goes, where that file ends up. So let me make that bigger. There we go. So how to choose where it goes. Google Drive, like the organization side of it, can get really messy because we have so many files. You got a ton of untitled documents. It happens, okay? But I want to show you what I like to do is I will create this in the area I want it to end up. So I'm making a resource. Actually, I'm not making a resource. I'm making just, let's make a new folder. I'm going to create it. It's going to be called, I don't know, it could be 1.2 slope. Hit create. So I can go ahead and make the folder in Google Drive. And then from there, I open the folder and go into it. Now I can create a new Google slide and it will be put in this folder automatically. Whatever folder you have open when you create something in Drive, that's where it's going to end up. So I'm going to hit this and I'm going to go down to Google Slides and I'm going to create it. Now, this is from scratch, okay? There's a few key things I want to talk about with you. The first one is starting from scratch with the templates. There are a decent amount of templates that they have over here. If yours don't pop up automatically, see how mine popped up automatically? Call them themes is another term for it. You can click here and hit theme, and you can change the theme for what you're doing. You know, they're pretty basic, and honestly, if anybody's ever used Google Slides, they're going to know that you use a template. If you do this, I think this one's the cleanest one, if you're asking me, my opinion, out of those templates. However, here's the cool thing. If you go and Google, you can just go in and say Google Slides themes. That's not how you spell themes, but it's close enough. You can go in here. There are a ton of places where you can grab pretty clean looking, templates off the internet and use them. You know who has really good templates? Canva. I've got a link in my bio if you want to check them out. But you can go through here. You can look at it. This one looks pretty clean. Let's say I want this one. I can go in and I can grab this, download it, and then upload it into my Google Drive. So I can take it, download this template, hit Google Slides. Sometimes they make you like sign up for an email list or do something. This one didn't. That's awesome. I'm literally just making a copy. If you've ever been on any of my resources, you've seen this page. This is where they've set it up to where you're forced to make a copy. That way you don't have to go in, hit file, make a copy, do all that. You're going in, hitting it, bam. It's now automatically going to be in your Google Drive. So now I've got this template in here. Now, I could start from here and build out what I wanted, but I want to show you how to import that template, that theme, into yours. So I'm going to go over here back to my original presentation. And I'm going to go down to the bottom right. Can't see it because of this banner. I'm going to move the banner real quick. It says import theme. So toss that in there. Now it's going to pull from my presentations and it's going to pull in like your most recent ones. And so, hold on a second. Okay, so I just click on the one I want, hit select, and what it does, it's going to convert that other one over. So if I had anything in there, if I had done anything on that, it's going to go ahead and replace the words and put them on there, change the fonts, all of it. So you will have to probably do some resizing. So if you go in and you import a theme, a lot of times you will have to resize and change it up. So this is a pretty clean theme. So we go in and I can, add whatever title I want, honor roll. Spelling's hard. Honor roll PD. So remember, sign up for the honor roll if you want, and you can get these PDs delivered to your inbox every week with templates. I don't know why I made that noise. Okay, sweet. Here we go. All right, boom, boom, boom. I don't know. Sorry, that bothered me. So we're in there. I'm going to X off of this because I don't want to see that anymore. That's pretty clean. Here's the trick, guys. Once you get a theme you like, what I recommend is not importing that theme. You find a previous template that you've done, like a previous presentation, right click, make a copy. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you what I was going to do. So what I would do, instead of going in, you can do the import theme and you can do all that stuff if you already have it built. But if you're starting from scratch, if I'm being straight with you, what I would do is I would go in and I would find that presentation. Like, here's a presentation I did. And let's say this was a lesson you did on whatever, and you're going to make it from scratch. Somebody's joining us in the live. What's up? If you want to join the live, you can text the number that I talk about all the time. I don't have it on here. I can pop it on there. So if you want to join us whenever we do these live, just text teacher to this number and you're in the game. You're in the game. Okay, so this is the presentation that I did a while back. Now, if you like it and you like the setup and you like the template, don't start from scratch every single time. What I do is whenever I'm going in, I'm creating these, I right click on it and I go to make a copy. Now, what that's going to do is going to pull all the information over, but you're probably going to have some information that carries over every single presentation you're doing with your students or every single project. Here it is, copy of Build Sustainable Classroom, blah, blah, blah. So put that back on there. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete different slides that I don't need. Okay, but this also brings me to my next topic that I want to cover, and that is I think you should have intro slides that are honest. They're like legends or quick reference pages for your students to any website you use, any resources you use, to previous chapters. If you want, you can do it to where it is linked out to, let's see. You can do it to where you're linking out to maybe, whenever I taught high school math, we had a formula page. I would put the formula page as a slide and then use it in every single presentation as like a quick review. If there's ever anything that you need them to know, put it in there consistently. Multi-step equations, they're important for math. I would put a slide in there about multi-step equations. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, this is my about me. So this could be like your contact page, and you could keep it for every single presentation if students need to get a hold of you. This is your important links page. So these are helpful links that I like, and this is a spot where I've got where teachers can put that in there. And then Google Help videos. This is if a student has trouble or anything like that, they can click and watch a tutorial on how to do it. If you want these slides, I have these linked in my my bio on my Instagram. My Instagram is Tyler Tarver. So if you go there, the link in the bio, it's actually intro. I've got it for vertical and horizontal. So if you want it, you can use those slides and just copy paste them or put them in one and delete them. So now I don't need all these slides. Remember, I'm starting from scratch. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete all 70 something of these slides. Select, delete. Okay. Now you're like, oh no, don't delete your presentation. Remember, I made a copy of it. So now look at this. This is my clean one. If you wanted to, if you had like your first 3 or 4 slides that you liked, and then you could just go in and make that its own template and then copy and make it instead of copying like a previous lesson. But honestly, I like copying the previous lesson because what if you left maybe 1 or 2 slides as a review? Like say you had a review slide at the end, leave that as the start slide, the beginning slide of this new presentation. So it's like you're linking, we used to call that vertical integration with across the grades, where you're linking your yesterday or most previous topic at the very beginning in the first slide. You fill in your nut stuff, and then that last slide there that you recap, it's going to be the first slide on your next presentation. So you could say honor roll PD. Okay. And so there you go. You can change your title, do whatever. And then remember, you're keeping your contact slide. Then you have your important link slide. These will be the same on every presentation, every project, all of it. The students need that consistency. Okay. Some people put a calendar there of the year. Anything you do to repeat what's expected, repeat and have clear communication of where students go to get different things and do different things, the better and more successful your students are going to be. That's a no-brainer. That's every time. Okay. So there you go. Now let's talk through the next topic I want to talk about. And that is, what if you have PowerPoints that you really like and you want to import these in here. I got you, fam. This is what you're going to do. Okay. You're going to go in and you are going to go into your drive and you're going to go to new and you're going to go file upload. Then you're going to go find that PowerPoint. So let me search PowerPoint. See if I've got one in here. I don't even know if I got a PowerPoint. It's been so many years since I've used a PowerPoint because Google Slides is better. Here we go. Repeated measures ANOVA. It's a PowerPoint. Okay, it's a presentation I did for my class. All right. So I'm going to hit that, hit open, and it's going to import it in there. Now, most of the time when you import a Word file, Excel file, or a PowerPoint, what's the problem? It imports it as that file. However, you can set it up to where it automatically converts it into a doc, a sheet, and a slide instead of having to go in, because let's see if I find it. Let's see. Chicken to Chinese. There it is. See, mine automatically converted from PowerPoint into a slide. How did it do that? I'm going to show you. Instead of that, like a lot of times what you're doing is you're dumping that in there and then you have to go in, right click, open with Google Slides. That's annoying, especially if you're uploading like all your files at once. What I would recommend is go to this gear in the upper right-hand corner, hit settings, and then this second box down says convert uploaded files to Google Docs editor format. Convert them. Okay, it is going to convert the docs into Word into docs. It's going to convert Excel into sheets, PowerPoint into slides automatically every time you upload them. It is a time saver for you guys. Okay, I highly recommend doing that. Okay, last tip I want to show you on today's Intro to Google Slides, PD, is I want to show you how to change the sizing. This is your traditional size. And most of the time we think we've got standard, and then we've got widescreen. So it's like you're barely changing it up. It's like, what kind of movie you want to watch? A VHS or a DVD Blu-ray? All right, so this is what you do. You go to File. You would go to Page Setup. Page Setup. Now, it's going to give you these as kind of like your options. Hit on Custom. Now, what is a regular piece of paper? I honestly make more slides unless I'm presenting something. If I'm making a resource, my go-to is going to be like a piece of paper. Students are used to writing it like a piece of paper. So do the size of a piece of paper. It's 8.5 by 11 inches. Hit apply. Boom. It's going to convert your template into that vertical one. So what I would recommend, if you're presenting to your class, do it like a traditional, TV screen. If you are making a resource for your class where they're taking notes or they're putting things on there, change it to 8.5 by 11. Now, you see, I'm going to have to go in. I'm going to clean up some of this formatting. But once I do this once, I can use it from here on out. Now, if you want, guys, I have links to different resources I've done that are already in that format. So we could use that trick we talked about at the beginning where you're just taking it, uploading it, and then when you want to make a new resource, right-click, make a copy. Right-click, make a copy. It'll have it to where the border on this red border it's cleaner. It's got everything set up. And I've also got a ton of these right here. I've got a ton of those in here that are set up for that. This is not set up for that. So I'm actually going to undo that because I don't want to jack up what I did. So I'm going to undo that page size change. Okay, so that's it, guys. If you want these slides, if you want any of that stuff, I've got it linked on my Instagram. It's linked in the bio. So it's click on the link in the bio, and then I've got all those resources right there if you want it. Or you can go to tarveracademy.com/resources. That's an easier way to do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're having a great start to this. I hope you maybe heard something that was good to hear out loud or process with me, another educator. You know what? We're just two educators kicking it, making stuff with Google Slides. This next section, I want to lean into what I mentioned about those Google Help slides, and I want to show you how to use them, how to adapt them, how to make them. So I'm going to spend a little more time focusing on that resource because I think that's something, honestly, you should be using every day in your class, on every assignment, every presentation. It can save you so much time in the long run because students know where to go, and not just students, parents. We found out how important it is for parents to know how to get to different resources and links and websites. And so putting that in everything is super important. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of that resource, and we're going to do that right now.
How to implement the this Google Help slide and an important link slide into any presentation that you share with students, whether it's a digital interactive notebook, whether it's lesson plans for parents that parents can have access to, whether it's just a regular assignment. Putting these in there will give students a quick reference guide to use these Google Help tutorials. So I'm going to show you how to get it, make a copy of it for yourself so you can edit it, use it however you want, and then how to implement that into a slide as easy as possible. Okay, so here we go. So let's make me smaller, make this bigger. Here we go. Okay, excellent. So to get the slide, go to my Instagram. That's where I have like a short link to it. So Instagram.com/Tyler Tarver. Okay, now when you're there, you're going to click the link in the bio. Link in the bio. Why do I gotta stop singing. I gotta stop singing. Okay. So we're gonna scroll through here. If you want, you can hit that little YouTube subscribe button. No pressure. It's whatever. You're on a YouTube video now. You can hit that. So we're gonna scroll down to, it's gonna say, where are you, little buddy? It's a resource, so it's gonna be a white one. I try to color code my tabs based on what it is you guys are trying to get. Let's see. I think I actually put it up here. Where are they? There they are. It's near the top. So you're gonna go, you can go vertical, which I made like a piece of paper. It's an 8.5 by 11. So if you want that, you can do it. It looks, you know, like this. I'll show it to you later. Or what I think most of you guys, your presentations, the things you're sharing with students are like a movie. It's they call it widescreen or standard. It would work as well. So we're gonna do horizontal. That's the one we want. So I'm gonna click that. What it's gonna do is it's gonna ask me to make a copy. When it does this, it's taking what I had and it's making a copy for you. That way you can do whatever you want to it. You can edit it. If there's some links that you don't need, if there's some stuff you want to change, go for it. Okay, it's yours. I want you to have these resources. So click yes, make a copy, and then it's going to roll up into here. Now I've got like a little welcome page where I'm just kind of talking to you about like, hey, here's some places you can find other things, resources I've got. Excellent. So here we go. Here's the slide. You can delete that slide if you want to. We don't need it. Here's what we got. Okay, so this is an important links page. Okay, so we've got an important links page and a Google Help video page. We're going to start on the important links page. Okay, from here, what I've done is I've put links to a bunch of stuff I think could be helpful for students as they're working through all of this. So Jamboard walkthroughs, Google Forms, Google Drive, all these like longer, like 30 minutes to an hour. Some are short, 2 to 5 minutes. Some are longer, 30 minutes, an hour, stuff like that, to where it's like full walkthroughs if people really want to understand how to use some of these resources. Now, from here, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add in links to your stuff. So you could actually put in, you know, Google Classroom. And you can make this a link to Google Classroom. It's just a short link for them to get to it. So classroom.google.com. Okay, you could do, like, say you have a school, like your school website. So you could put school website. And then you can go in and, by the way, a short link to make a link, you just highlight it and hit Command K if you're on a Mac, Control K if you're on anything else. And I could do box site where I used to work. So school website, you say school grading, grade book. If you guys have something, I think Arkansas uses eSchool. I don't know. Let's say eSchool. Do you know that you can search whenever you're in here and you're trying to add a link? You can type this and it'll actually search the internet for you. Thanks a lot, Google. You can put those links on there. Anything you think would be helpful for students. You could put other resources. Say you use, what's that one math thing that people use in New York? Engage New York. Engage New York. So I could take this and I could search and I could be like, bam, there it is. So it's just a quick link. Remember, think of your audience. If this is going in for students, great. You can just add it and make it stuff that students use. If it's for parents, say you're putting this into a presentation you're giving to parents, like to prep them and let them know where different things are that are important for your class, you could put those links on there for them as well. This is yours. Edit, add to it, adjust it, make it something you need. You might notice there's a link that you use a lot, you know, a month from now. You can go in and add it in later, and then you can start pasting that into your new presentations. Okay, so that's the gist of your important links page. The next one, this is Google Help videos. So what I've done is I've taken some videos that I've made, walkthroughs, very quick walkthroughs, like 1 minute to 3 minutes max, I think, walkthroughs on how to use these things. And I've got, you know, hundreds of these videos on my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe below. But also I've got
I've got the, what was I saying? What I've done is I've curated the ones that I feel like 90% of students have problems with, like how to submit stuff, how to find missing assignments, all that stuff that like they usually run into the same problems. Here it is. Here's why this is a good idea to put this at the front of all your assignments. If you take this slide, just this slide alone, okay? If you put this at the front of your assignments, anytime the student submits it and they don't attach something or they don't submit it on time or whatever, they mess up and do that little thing that you're having to like clean up behind them, you just tell them, go to the link in the slideshow. It's already in there for them. So I would try to add these into everything that you send to students. Okay, and on the right, I've got a bunch of YouTube stuff, which that's ugly. I need to fix that. Goodness gracious, I've got it to where the E. Come on, there we go. Oh my goodness, that was so gross. I'll fix that. Okay, and there you go. Now, I'm going to show you how to insert that into your presentation, okay? So over on the left, you'll see your thumbnails. You want to click both of them, so we're going to click that one, and then I'm going to let go, and then I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm going to click the other one. That's going to allow me to select both of them. Now, this is the easiest way to move slides between presentations. Y'all ready? Hit Command-C or Control-C if you're not on it. So Command-C, Control-C. Then click over to whatever presentation. I want to insert it into this remote learning presentation I do for schools. You just click on any slide and it's going to insert it beneath that. So I'm going to hit Command V, or if you're not on a Mac, it's Control V. So I'm going to hit Command V. It's going to paste my slides into my presentation. There it is. Now, here's where you have an option. You can either match the style in this new presentation, the one that you just pasted into. You can keep the original styles, which was mine with the outline thing, or you can link and keep it. So if you do that, anytime you change, this was a good one for you guys. You might want to do this last one. This is what I would do. I'll tell you why. Watch this. Hit link and keep original styles. Here's what's going to happen. Because you're going to be copy pasting these into like a bunch of different like assignments for students. And so it's going to be like all over the place. And then you think, oh, I need to add this link, or I need to change this, or I need to update this. Guess what? It's not going to update it in the new one unless you click that third one, that third option that I just showed you. Then anytime I go back over to my original and I adjust or change this, it's automatically going to update it in my new one. So that's what happens when you link those slides. That's what happens.
Okay, time for our guest speaker. Meg Abo is going to show us a ton of stuff she does with Google Slides, some of the amazing resources that she has, how to work through master slides creation. Again, she is one of the people that inspired me to expand and grow utilizing Google Slides. So I would love for you guys to hear from her. And if you could, give her a shout out, tell her thank you. She is a wonderful person. She actually reached out to me to do this a while back. And I was just like, yes, I would love to hear. And I learned a lot from her during the session, and I hope you do as well. So take it away, Meg.
My name's Meg Abo. I actually teach over at Bryant Junior High, and I teach English and journalism. I'm super excited. I've been using Google Slides for several years in my classroom. I really love technology. But, with the pandemic, I really had to delve into it and learn some new tips and tricks, and I'm wanting to share that.
Oh, that's great. And see, that because most of what I've got is like, hey, use this if you're in the classroom and collaborate on this slide. And now you've actually got to put into practice, hey, here's your slide, everybody build it remotely. So I love that we'll both have that dynamic. Would you look at that? Hacking Google Slides. Oh my, you gave me credit. You didn't have to give me credit on your presentation you made. You are too nice.
I'm on the next slide. I am on the next slide, and I have my contact information on there. I did just want to it's not my stream, it's yours. I wanted to start with.
Well, I respect and appreciate it, and also love that you tossed some coffee in the corner. So thank you.
All right. I'm actually, you know what? Normally I would put it in presentation mode, but I'm not going to today because I'm going to actually show you guys some things within Google Slides. So
that sounds awesome.
Like I said, I'm Meg. If you want to ask me questions that you think about later, or the stream has ended and you can't ask live, you can email me at mabo@bryantschools.org. I'm also on Instagram. That's kind of a new thing. I had an intern who convinced me that I needed to become social media savvy, but that's oysters and pearl erasers.
That's awesome. I'm always going to promote Instagram. I wasn't that intern, but I will always push people to be on social media. So I agree with intern number one.
Yeah. Frankly, right now, it's just pictures of me and my kids hiking, but maybe eventually I'll turn it into a way to share some educational insight. But
I love it.
so we're just going to start with the basics right now. First, before we even do that, let's just make sure everybody can locate Google Slides. You literally just go into your Google Suite and you create a new Google slide. If you already have a Google slide open, you can just go up to New, Present, and I like to make a copy often because I use a lot of templates. This looks like I did a lot of work and it's very professional. I didn't make it. I spent maybe 20 minutes putting it all together yesterday, and it's well packaged, and packaging is an incredibly important component when you're trying to teach teenagers who are all about aesthetic.
Oh yeah. Hey, question, because that's not one of the templates that Google gives you for slides. Where did you get that template? Or are you going to talk about that later?
I have a slide that's resources, and it has the two places that I use most of my templates from.
Okay, good. So it's kind of like we get to see a little bit from the end of the movie, and now we know it's coming up, so it's like suspenseful. Okay, I like it. I like what we're doing here.
Okay. One of the things that I like to do is resize my slides. So can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Okay, good. So when you're resizing your slides, you just go into page setup underneath file, and it should be default widescreen, but I like to go in and customize. And if I'm doing maybe an interactive notebook, I'm going to change that to be normal paper size. That's 8.5 by 11. If I'm doing a giant whiteboard that all of my kids are collaborating on, I might make it bigger than that. Maybe I'm doing something that's social media inspired, so I might make it more Instagram proportions. And you can find a lot of those proportions just by Googling. So resizing slides is a really important tip for creating things that are interactive and authentic. Creating with master slides is also really good. You can get there two places. You can go through View and click on Master, or you can go into Slide and click Edit. The reason why you would want to be able to edit your master slide is because whatever you put on your master, your kids can't delete. And that becomes an issue later on, unless they go into the master slides, and a lot of them don't know how to do that. But
no, we don't teach them that. We don't let them wield that power.
So if you have instructions off to the side in the gray space that you want to stay and show up on every single page, you just add that into your master slide. You can insert text boxes, images, audio, video, shapes. I'm going to talk specifically about audio and video. Text box is pretty self-explanatory. If you've done anything with PowerPoint or for Mac, Key. What is it with Mac?
Keynote.
Keynote, that's right.
Keynote. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I love Keynote. It's beautiful, but Google Slides is just too accessible everywhere. It's too accessible not to use. I love it. We've got some good questions coming in. You guys keep throwing in those questions, and then what we're going to do is Meg's going to roll through a lot of her presentation, because we'll do the thing where I say, hey, what about this, Megan? And she's like, it's later in the slide, Tyler, chill out. And so what we'll do is after she rolls through, I'll toss in some of those questions and we'll go through and actually do those. So keep asking questions now, and then we'll start throwing those in a little bit. Is that cool?
Yeah, that is going to be awesome. I just noticed that somebody's asking about PDFs, and I'm going to talk about using PDFs to create interactive pieces, not necessarily be able to edit them. You can edit them in Google Slides. I'm sure that there is an app, an add-on that you can add to it. My school doesn't allow you to put add-ons into your Google Suite without an act of Congress, so I don't use them.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't use them, but I do know that there are a lot of them, and there's one in particular that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Let's go on.
I'm excited. Keep tossing in your questions, guys, and we will hit those. So they're not being ignored. They're being postponed. So keep asking questions. These are good questions.
I'm going to show you examples that I've actually used in a classroom that I've tried out that have worked with videos. But video, and I believe that Tyler brought this up in a previous presentation that he did, where you can literally click insert video, go to YouTube. I believe it was on your Google form. But it's the same setup. You're going to insert video. You can also go to your Google Drive. You can go to URL. I like to keep a list of videos that I'm going to use. I like to use a lot of unlisted videos, like film myself teaching, and then put that into my Google slide, which helps you to flip your classroom. Insert audio. This is really good for 2 practices. You just click on audio. The trick to this is you have to upload it into your Drive in order to be able to use it. So if you have a student who needs read aloud, or you want to listen to a student read aloud, you can do one of 2 things. You can click on, we're going to pretend like I'm teaching the lottery right now. This is the audiobook for the lottery. Love this story. It's a beautiful dystopia. And when you click on add it, you're going to see this icon pop up in the corner. It's a little sound icon with the options to play, adjust volume, and then format options are going to pop up. You can select to start playing on click, which is what I would recommend, or you can have it play automatically when the kid flips to that slide. I don't recommend doing that simply because it's going to scare a lot of kids, maybe embarrass a few who are flipping through their slides without headphones out in public.
I want to throw out real quick. We were interviewing for a position one time, and this guy, I mean, it was just all around the weirdest interview we've ever done. But one of the elements to that was when he was doing his presentation, he went to a slide and it started playing this audio, this like orchestra audio. And he like used that in the first 20 seconds, like he paused, like it was like we were supposed to take a moment to reflect on how he put audio into it. And then he like gave his point that was attached to audio, but then he kept talking about whatever he was talking about for the next 15 minutes with that same 15-second loop of that song in the background. And we're sitting there watching, and that music just keeps playing in the background. And I don't know if he couldn't hear it, or if he just didn't care, or if he was doing some sort of like weird punked thing to us, and we just didn't know. So I like the audio. Just keep in mind, if you keep playing music over and over in an interview, they're probably judging you. That's all I'm going to say. Go back to you, Megan. Sorry.
Well, and you can select to loop audio. I don't know why you would want to, unless you,
No.
I've created Jeopardy games before using Google Slides. And,
oh, wow.
And I've used the
Jeopardy music afterwards. Yeah.
And so that can loop. But I would recommend selecting stop on slide change so that this music does not continue to play. The only reason I would unselect that is if I were doing a long short story or poem. I wouldn't suggest doing chapters of a book or a novel through Google Slides. I think that would be a bit clunky. But if you were doing a longer portion of something that they were supposed to read along with and listen to, you could have it continue to the audiobook to continue to play as you move on to the next slide. I would not suggest looping audio though, because my cat just leapt from the window.
That's good. That's our first cat guest. So I'm glad that your cat joined. You know what another good thing would be is if the teachers are working remotely. Because I had someone ask me yesterday, but like, what if kids can't read and you're giving them these assignments and it's not like we're doing Zoom for everything? You could send them a slideshow presentation and you could literally just read the slides, and then afterwards you could even like take a moment to break down what's expected of them. That's the thing, like we talk about, it's just like almost being so much clarity where you get sick of saying what you want students to do. So adding that in there, I think is an awesome, easy element, and you can do it in your pajamas. Whereas if a video, it's like, you got to be like I had to take a shower this morning because of this. So, you know, like you could do whatever you wanted to do and then record that audio. So that's great. That's a great tip.
And there are add-ons if you wanted to. You can click on add-ons, document add-ons, get add-ons. If you go into get add-ons and you search for speech to text or text to speech, you can find there are several for students who can't read, and it will automatically read the slides to them. It will read your speaker notes to them. There's a lot of customizability there. So audio is a really great
I love that. That's awesome.
I'm sorry. But
no, I was saying I agree with you always.
Thank you. Another thing that you can do with insert audio is if you're wanting to, I think it's really important that students read aloud. Sometimes students don't want to read aloud in a classroom. So even if you're in the classroom, you can have them maybe step out in the hallway, record themselves reading, and then have them insert it to their Google slide so that they're not put on the spot having to read in front of people, but you can still do that assessment.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. We talked about the gray space. This is prime real estate because if a student is working in Google Slides, all this gray space, I've used up all of my gray space with the size of my presentation, but I have a few where I've actually utilized it to put things like instructions or reflection questions for students to then work with on the actual slide. So I'll show you a few examples of where I use the gray space.
Yeah.
And then I want to point out your undo and redo buttons. They're incredibly important. I had a student email me in a panic just a few days ago. And she said, I was working in Google Slides and the question that I was working on got deleted. What do I do? Well, hit the undo button. If you're working on collaborative pieces, sometimes somebody might write over somebody else's work or accidentally delete their stuff. Go into the history. You just go File, Version History, see Version History, and you can actually go back to the time that it was edited, see who made that edit, and then go from there. Like you can revert back to that original. Oh, no! I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. I like it.
Okay.
While you were doing that, somebody asked, because related to the audio part, someone was just asking about classroom headphones. We used a brand called Skull Candy, and it sounds really weird, but they are good headphones, and they went over their ears, and they had like a cord that was removable. We bought like 100 of these things for our students to use in the classroom because they were like listening to a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Guys, if you're going to do stuff with audio, I would put headphones on my required purchase list before I put paper on there. I can recommend you some good headphones. Okay, I can. And if you want me to, I will. But if you're going to do headphones, just tell them to bring their own. Bring their own, because I'm not kidding, out of maybe, if we had 100 pairs of headphones, after 1 year, and these are good, these aren't like, I'm on my way to jail. Like, these are good kids. They just, the cords go missing. They chew on those cords nonstop. Like, we broke through so many cords because they just put them in their mouth and chew on them. One, it's gross. Two, definitely not COVID-free since '93. And three, it's like it rips them up, or they just disappear or break. And it's not a hassle. Yeah, you're right. Mary's talking about, yes, bring their own, but some that can't afford it. I can throw you a link to some good headphones, but honestly, I would get the least expensive you could and as durable of a cord as you can find, because they're going to chew through it. And I would only make them check it out, check it in, like be super, super strict about those. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump off, but no. I wanted to answer that question. From my experience, it was always like, it's a frustration for you as a teacher and administrator where it's like they're they're constantly disappearing and being messed up. So go ahead. Sorry.
Have you tried electrical tape around the cord?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We would tape it up and then they still like put it in their mouth. They would like disappear, like the cords would disappear because they needed it to borrow it, but then they forgot. And so we always tell them headphones and then chargers, make the students buy their own. Because if not, they're going to say somebody stole mine. I left it plugged in here. I put it here. Those two things I would highly recommend you put on their list of things they have to get themselves.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and look at what we can actually create and do with Google Slides. And I felt like there was a little bit of shade thrown in the direction of Slytherin the other day in a comment that you made in one of your streams. And I just wanted to point out, that when faced with work, you know, the Slytherin is going to find the easiest way to do the best job, whereas the Gryffindor is going to wait until the very last second to do it.
Okay, so spot on, by the way. If y'all could screenshot on your computer, this is all spot on. My son who is in Slytherin, of which I appreciate and admire. Okay, remember she would definitely want to be in there just because she could hang with her friends. And there are like, let's work together. But my son's Slytherin, and that's what he would do. He would be like, all right, let me do the easiest way so I can get out of here.
Yes. So a lot of people, when we ended up being shut down and having to work remotely, panicked because they felt like they were having to create all new materials. Don't do that. I'm definitely a Slytherin, and I believe in the motto, work smarter, not harder. Your work is already done. You have great materials. You just need to convert them into the Google Slide format. And just about every lesson can be done that way. So
yes.
Backwards design. I'm a huge proponent of backwards design when you're building something. If you're a new teacher or you're having to build something from scratch, start with the skills first. Don't worry about the buttons and the bells and the whistles of Google Slides. Figure out how are you going to judge this, assess it, and then what pieces you need to instruct. And each of those will end up being its own individual slide when you get done with that process. I'm not going to go too much into planning because we're all teachers here. If you have specific questions about backwards design or understanding by design, or you just want to brainstorm some lesson plans, feel free to shoot me an email and we can talk about that. I'm more than willing to look at your unit plans and lesson plans and give you some feedback. I am by no means an expert though.
Well, I think you are. I only bring in experts. So you're kind of an expert by default there. So you are the expert.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So I love Google Slides for the versatility. I can do individual and I can modify for those individuals. So when you go into Google Classroom, can y'all see me pulling up Google Classroom right now?
No.
Okay. I think
it probably looks really good. I bet it looks really cool. I could actually chat. I want to talk. Is it okay if I talk while you're pulling that up? Are you pulling it up right now? So while you're pulling that up, I want to talk about that group work. I think that this is one thing I did in my class. You don't have to listen to me. You can click. I don't know if you're being polite. So I was letting you. Oh, you're loading. Okay. So one of the things that I loved doing was I would get essentially like a blank Google slide and I would share it with my class. And I would have had them watch some videos with about the upcoming lesson the night before. I'd have put them in a playlist, be like, watch these and take notes. And then I would have taken that and I would have had the students go in all together and they're building out this. And I think you're about to show exactly how I would have done that. But the reason I love that, and this is just kind of like a quote that I really enjoy in education, is if the students are building out the presentation and then you make them like do little parts of the presentation or you use their presentation to teach it, however you want to do it, they're building that assignment. And the quote I love is, whoever's doing the work is doing the learning. And if the students are doing all the work and they're putting it together in the slideshow and the presentation, they're doing the learning, okay? As opposed to hoping they're doing it whenever you're doing all the work. So go for it.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how to do the individual piece, and then I'm going to show you how to do a collaborative piece. But we're just going to go into create assignment, print assignment, and then I'm going to add from my drive.
Such a good name for an assignment. Pretend assignment. I like it. A lot of my students think that's the name of every assignment. So yeah, I'm with you.
I think that's pretty common.
Okay.
So
okay, good.
I have some demo pieces that I created. So I do journalism, and my kids are they're giving up their summers to voluntarily do work.
Wow, that's a real student right there. Give them all the awards.
Yeah, well, they do. They win a lot of awards, but they're amazing kids. If I really would love to invite you and anybody else who wants to come in and watch that class, because I don't teach after summer. The students teach the lessons. I sit at my desk and they come and they ask me questions occasionally, like, what would you think about us doing this? Yeah, go for it. So
that's awesome.
I know
that's the way it should. That would be incredible.
It's an amazing class, but I digress. So if I want to make this individual, I am going to make a copy for each student. Mm-hmm. And that way, each individual student is going to have access to their own particular slide. They're not going to be working on anybody else's slide. And then I'm just going to assign that. And then after I assign it, if I had students in here populate it. Sorry, the toddler here. So if I had students here, I could go to their particular.
Talking every 10 minutes and yell at me, so you're good. Sorry. Go ahead. I apologize. There's a lag.
That's okay. I can go into their particular assignment. It will have their name up here at the top. And I can, I have a student who gets overwhelmed, or maybe they need to do a reduced assignment. So that opening journal, I might go in here and change some of the work here and make this really particular for them. And only they are going to see those changes. One of the other things that I love doing with individual assignments is then having them, like, you can still collaborate with individual assignments. They can come back into classwork and you can have them make a comment. That can be one of the slides. Read this and then come back into Google Classroom, make a comment, and then comment on two other people's comments. So that's the
Ooh, I love that. I love creating discussion. That's good.
If I'm doing it group, instead of doing, I'm doing another prepared assignment. Going back into my Google Drive, I'm going to grab my document, and I'm going to want to make sure that I'm using a template specific for this class, because instead of making a copy, I'm going to allow them to edit if I want them to be able to collaborate. And so they can all work on this particular slide. They will all see each other's comments, changes, discussions. They can also delete each other's work. I've had that happen before. I had a student sabotage another student's work. But luckily with that version history, I was able to recover their work.
Yes.
So possible uses, some things that you can do with Google Slides, and I'm going to show you 4. Collaborative brain dump, like literally you can use it as a whiteboard during your Zoom discussions or your Google Hangouts. You can have this up, have people typing questions on it, have them put their answers to their openers on it. We do something at Bryant called Good Things, where students share something wonderful about their life, or teachers share something wonderful about their life to create culture and positivity. And so that would be a great place to put all of that, so that that kid that's quiet and doesn't want to speak up in class, they can still collaborate, they can still have their voice heard without having to put themselves on the spot.
Yeah, that's good.
Drag and drop It takes the place of cut and paste. I love to do a lot of hands-on learning with English. I work with a lot of struggling learners. And so having anything where they can manipulate and do is very beneficial for them. So drag and drop, I'm going to show you some of that later on in something that I've actually used in class quite successfully. Fill in the blank. Obviously, you just have them create a text box. Timeline creations, any graphic organizer really. Interactive notebooks, I've done several of those. I love doing interactive notebooks in the classroom. Those were really trendy and popular for a good reason, because they're hands-on and they're manipulative. Students are going to engage with something that they touch and create much more than a bunch of questions at the end of a book. Task cards. I teach secondary ed, and a lot of people assume that task cards are for elementary, but they're not. I use them in centers all the time. Centers for secondary education are phenomenal. If you want to know how to make those work, hit me up and I will tell you. Graphic organizers, we've mentioned that. Whole class projects. I'm going to show you an example of one that I've actually done in class, show you some student work. Reading check. We've talked about using the audio feature. Multi-sensory books. We've done that with some interactive notebook type things where they have the poem or the book, and then they also have almost like a hyperdoc. They have videos and links and different tools from the web all put into one document for them.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Posters, worksheets, portfolios. Portfolios are really key for a lot of kids. They might not test well, but being able to show what they did all year in one location helps you to determine that they actually did learn. And it can be fun.
Yes.
All right.
I love your idea of like every way that you're talking about getting excited about Google Slides. It's not like, oh, here is this amazing presentation I made. It's something that is like a living, breathing, like assignment document. It's like there's depth to it. It's not just like, here's the information, here's the information, here's the end of the information. It's like, here are links to this, here's a way to go here, here's a way to give input here. And I think that if we start teaching and thinking that way, you can utilize slides to where it's like, it's not like a textbook, it's like an entire website. Like it builds and grows. And I love that.
And it unfolds in a way that's not overwhelming for a kid. If they go to a website and they're faced with all these different links all at once, that can put them off. But with the Google Slides, you can you can paste them.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Hey, it's Tyler here. I'm just gonna give you a little break. So if you need to go do something, you need to go use the restroom, get a snack, get something to eat, whatever, you can go do that. I was gonna chat with you about some stuff, give you some time to do that and check in, maybe say hi. If you want in the chat, let's do a little check-in. In the chat, how you feeling? Toss in your emoji of how you feeling right now. Let's do a little emoji checkup, if you will. So while you're doing that, I do want to give, you know what? I spent a lot of time writing this book, and I genuinely think this book is going to help you in your classroom. It's gonna inspire you more than anything. It's a read with me, and one of the things that I feel like I've never been the smartest dude in the room. I've never been, the most talented, but I'll say this, I was always been pretty approachable, I think. I've been approachable, and I think what this is, I've tried to be as relatable as possible. I'm talking about my experiences, things I've run into in the classroom, what I've learned as a teacher and as an administrator and as a student, what I learned. And so this is the Baller Teacher Playbook. If you're interested in checking this out, I recommend, of course I recommend, it's my book. It's not the best book on education, but I think it's good enough to help you in some way. It's got a lot of practical experience in it. I've got quotes. That's a do you boo-boo. I could have picked a better chapter. Here's one thing. I want to show you one thing that I did at the end of each chapter, because I know teachers. Okay, I put in practical application, I put in reflection, because we know reflection is important, even though we never have time to do it. But it's got spots for you to write that in, so this is something you can work on by yourself or with your team. But here's the part that I did, and this is legit just for teachers. I don't know if you can see that. I put in, at the end of each chapter, I have a section called TLDR. That's internet talk for too long, didn't read. So what that means is, let's say you've got a team meeting, okay? Because there's 18 chapters in here. That means you and your team, or you and your building, you can go through a chapter once a week. You meet on your planning period, spend 10 minutes talking about what you did, what you tried, what worked, what didn't work, stuff to help improve your class and improve your students. Every week you can do that. Have you ever done this? In the chat, be honest, you ready? Have you ever had a team meeting where you're supposed to read something and you're walking over to the meeting and you're like, oh no, I forgot to read the thing I'm supposed to read that we're gonna discuss for like 15 minutes. So you like just try to chill and like hopefully don't get called on or get called out for not reading it. At the end of each chapter, I have a section called TLDR where in like 2 to 5 bullet points, I summarize the chapter. So you could be walking to the meeting, you could read these 3 or 4 bullet points and be able to have a conversation about the entire chapter. There's stories in here, there's practical experience, there's ways that I messed up, ways that I failed, and then ways that I feel like I succeeded, and I'm just talking through what I learned from both of those. And I would love for you to learn and grow with me. So if you want to check out that book, it's on Amazon. I'll have a link on the screen if you want to get it. Link is in my bio. I link links everywhere to it. So Baller Teacher Playbook. I think it can help you in your classroom. Okay, we're about to get started. Kick back into it. Hopefully you're ready to roll, ready to go. And let's jump back in. Let's jump back in like Michael Phelps. Okay. Well, does that work? Does that work? I mean, he jumps into the pool. That's what I was going for. I need to know more like high diver. High divers would have been better. I'll tell you this. We're gonna stick the landing like Carrie Strug. Y'all remember her? Carrie Strug. Remember the Olympics? Georgia Olympics? Atlanta Olympics? Remember that? Yeah, it's okay. It's a very narrow reference. All right, let's get started. Let's kick it off. Let's jump back in. Get your notes out. Get your screens pulled up. Get your coffee ready. Get your ice water. Your sweet tea. If you're from Arkansas like me, you know you like that sweet tea. And we're about to kick it off. Here we go. Let's get back in. Let's get back in. I'll see you guys.
And PD season is upon us. I don't know any teacher that loves sitting and listening to somebody lecture for 8 hours.
Not a lot.
So if we can get
That's been proven in every PD I've ever done that they don't like that. It's like at hour 6 of whenever I do a PD at a school, I'm just like hour to 5 to 6. I'm like, guys, I know you're sick of my voice. Can you please say thanks so that I'm not the one talking to you? So I get it.
Yeah. But having that hands-on component really takes the pressure off of you as a teacher, puts it back on them, makes them do the work so that they're learning. Digital worksheets. There are some things that I'm old school about, and I think worksheets have their place. I don't know that we necessarily need to give a student 200 of them, but to practice and for quick assessments, those are really useful. I use PDFs of my worksheets.
Sorry, are you showing this on your slideshow? Because we're still looking at Classroom real quick. There we go. I was going to have you toss it over. I figured you were showing it on there.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see if you toss it. Of course. No, it was good. You were addressing a point that was on there, and I wanted them to be able to see it. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So we're back.
It is. Look at this little guy. Look at that little guy.
All right. Awesome. When I do YouTube videos for my kids, I don't do it for like teachers or followers, just for my kids. I just share my whole screen, and so they can see everything. Here, I'm trying to limit what I'm showing off. And so when I'm switching slides or I'm switching tabs, I forget. But here's an example of something that my kids have actually done this summer. What I do is I create digital worksheets that they can type and edit on. This is where I use the master. So I took a worksheet that I would normally print out and hand to them, but I can't do that because we can't meet in school for camp. And I just screenshotted that PDF and stuck it in as an image. But instead of putting it directly, like if I'm clicking on this, I cannot delete this. Instead of just putting it directly on the slide, I went into Edit Master and I put it as my background image on my master slide, so that now a student can't accidentally delete this, and it makes it easier for them to insert a text box and then just type in their answer for that particular assignment. I like cut off the names on the worksheets when I put them into Google Classroom, because it will be named with their name. So you don't necessarily need to hunt for it on their page. I think that takes up real estate when you can blow up an image a little bit bigger and not have that, not have to have that name on there. One of the things that you can do with this gray space, the directions are already on here to answer, use the worksheet while viewing the captioned presentation. But I might go into the edit master, since this is something that they are doing on a Google slide, and just add in some more directions. So I'm just going to create a text box on the master slide so that they can't delete this. I'm going to make my text nice and big.
It's not showing anything on our screen. It's still showing the slide with the iPad.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if maybe it's a different. There it is. Maybe get back in there and we'll toss it up. I'm sorry. I don't know what was going on. I'm going to share
my entire screen now.
That'd be perfect.
That just fixes that problem.
That solves everything. Boom. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that gray space.
All right. So in master slides, and again, I got there, since you guys weren't able to see me actually get there, I got there under slide, and you click that, drops down, it'll say master slide. So if I'm going to create a text box, I'm going to click on the little text boxy thingy, and then I'm going to type into it, create, and I know it looks dark on the screen, but I'm going to blow it up just a little bit. And then on the next, when I take it off of master, the gray space, the black will show up on it. Create text boxes to type your answers. I don't know why I capitalized text boxes. I swear I have an English degree.
I believe you. I don't. So that's why I talk with this accent. I don't talk very well. I need to enunciate better. So that's on me. That's on me.
No, there's nothing wrong with a Southern accent. Now, create text boxes to type your answers. It shows up, and the kids can't delete this on accident. It's there. It's there. And they can refer back to it. If I add in a slide, maybe I have a multi-page worksheet, it's going to stay there on the next one as well. If I insert a new slide.
Oh, that's so cool. There's so much more I know I should be doing with master slide. And so I love that you're bringing this in here. Like, I'm learning a lot in here just because all I do is like the minimum amount I need to do to get by. And so like everything you're saying like makes my life easier later on. So I love that.
All right. And it's not wanting to cooperate with me today. All right. But if I were to create a new slide, that would show up on that new slide. So digital worksheets, take the worksheets you already have, turn them into PDFs, screenshot, insert them as images, and you've got an interactive worksheet. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Task cards. I love task cards, and you can do this if you're in class. Pencil and paper works best with task cards. You use them to create your template and cut them out, laminate them. I like task cards because it takes that traditional worksheet and it chunks it. So a kid who gets overwhelmed and shuts down, they can go through the task cards individually. It makes it seem like it's easier and not as much work. If you have, you can also customize it so that if you have a student who needs to do 100 multiplication facts versus a student who needs to do 10, you can individualize how many task cards they have to do. And so I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you first how to do them digitally. So here you see I've got in my gray space my instructions. On your own paper, write the answers for the cards. This is the best way I've found to do them digitally, have them use their own paper. Normally in the classroom, you would have a little sheet with already numbered for them. And they would turn that in at the end of the day. I find trying to have them put their answers on another separate sheet and then turn it into Google Classroom, unless they know how to screen split, becomes really clunky. And screen splitting is just, having the two tabs side by side. But when they're finished, they take a picture. Our kids were provided with Chromebooks if they did not have a device at home that could access the internet during the shutdown. But most kids have a phone or an iPad, some kind of tablet, and they all come equipped with cameras, some of them better than your expensive camera that you bought for that vacation long ago and then never used it.
Yep. Guilty of those purchases.
Yes. And so one of the things I wanted to show you is how I link into the slideshow. So I have a rules sheet right here. And this helps them figure out the spelling rules. And then on each card, I have a place for them it says, click here for rules, and it will take them right back to slide 2. And you just add that in by putting your shape or your text and then highlighting it and then clicking insert link. And then you can have it linked to the actual slide, or you can have it linked to go out of the presentation to another place. Maybe if you had a YouTube video that you wanted them to watch on multiplication facts or finding X.
I love that.
If you're doing this for print, essentially the same applies. You're going to create the same task cards. You're just going to make them smaller, and you're going to fit 4 on a page, and then print this and cut it out, and it's the perfect size to go in those little picture holders that you get from Hobby Lobby. And then you've got a set of task cards, and you just pull those out when a kid needs extra practice on something, or in centers. I like to use them a lot. Interactive notebooks. I have 2 here. I wanted to show them both. One is for my journalism students. I pulled this up earlier. And it literally looks like a notebook. But
that's so cool.
And this is it looks cool. It looks like I did a lot of work here, but really I just took a lesson I already use and put all of it piece by piece into this template. So here I've got a sticky note off to the side with the instructions. Watch the video and review the example below. Both of these things are legal, but one is considered socially and morally unacceptable. Can you add 2 more things to each side? Daniel, dear, would you please get me a cord, or get my cord so that I can plug in?
That's good. I've been there in charge land where you get the notification that you have 5% and you're like, oh no. And I'm like looking around, looking for a plug. Good that you have an assistant there. That's good.
Yeah. Luckily, this is a new laptop from the school, so 5% should last me a good 10 minutes.
Oh man, that's nice. Because in about a year, it'll be like 12 seconds. I'm like 5%, and I'm like racing to charge it. Every time. Man, this is so good. These are such good resources.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to necessarily build anything from scratch. There are tons of resources on like Teachers Pay Teachers. Go to Google and type in digital interactive notebook, and you can find a lot of these and then modify them for your needs. This is one where we did a poem analysis, and I wanted to bring this up. Little Bitmoji over here, because I've also hyperlinked in it. So if you're doing a longer piece, you can put these little hyperlinks. If it's something that's going to take multiple days and they know they were on step 3, they can click on that and it'll take them to step 3. I'm not in present mode, so it's not wanting me to click on it. But this is something I recommend for you as teachers. I screencasted my screen, recorded it, and showed them how to navigate the interactive notebook, talked them through it, then just uploaded this to my drive and plugged it into the very second page. We also have the drag and drop here. So typically, I was moving these around last night. So typically these would all be off in the gray space when they got here, and then they would just pick them up, drag them over. Could they have typed their answers into the Venn diagram? Sure. But I think drag and drop is really beneficial to students who maybe have limited English or struggle with written expression, or just have limited motivation, because everybody can drag and drop. Sometimes when you're faced with having to type, you're like, it's too hard.
This is great. And you would just, like, for the record, anybody, I'm assuming what you did, and Meg, you can tell me if I'm wrong. You would take that, build out that presentation, and then you go into Google Classroom and you select the option to make a copy for each student. That way they essentially go in and they're working through this project of this lesson. You could, that had to be like, if a teacher thinks like, oh, I got to make one of those every day, that's a lot of work. No, like that could be a full week. And you could literally build one slideshow that they work through. And once you share it with them, you can go into Classroom and you can see their progress at any point throughout the week. So if you check in on Wednesday and you look at little Johnny and little Johnny hasn't done the first slide, you could be like, yo, little Johnny mommy, you need to get him on that assignment because he's not even started. And it's like, it's a good amount of work. Like, it's a great way to not have to like, hey, you didn't check in today and you missed the whole assignment. It's like you give them time. So if you're doing remote learning, I think that's really, really cool, a way to lay out your week or as long as you want.
Yeah, it's a great option for kids that need to work at a different pace. Like this particular assignment, this is a week or more. I don't expect a student to come in and be able to do all of this in a single class period. I think it's a good tip. I have some tips later on that I'm going to give about how to keep students from feeling overwhelmed when they're faced with 20 slides.
That's good.
Collaborative presentations. So this is one that my students actually did. I've taken out the student names and all of that. I've shared this presentation with Tyler, so if he wants to share it out with anybody, he can. If you want to ask me for it, you're more than welcome to. He can throw the link on his website or in the YouTube video. I've made it available to view for anybody who has the link. But what I did was there was one copy of this for each class period, and I selected that students can edit. And then so we were all working on this at the same time. Now, ideally, this is done in class because it requires me, you're not going to be able to sit down with this kind of project because you're going to be walking and monitoring, hey, somebody just deleted my slide. And you're going to have to go and fix and troubleshoot. But I think it's worth the headache because they need to learn to collaborate. Our district, I work with 8 other English teachers, and we all collaborate and use the same documents and the same materials. And we have to figure out how to resolve our conflicts and how to navigate utilizing Google Drive altogether. That's not going away. They're going to do that in the real world.
Yes.
So, actual examples, I used the master slide to create a template for them to plug in their information, and they did the research, and then they presented it in class. And I loved this particular assignment because they got to research Shakespearean phrases that we still use today. And nobody had to research them all, but they still learned about all of them. Because
that's really good.
They did the work and they taught each other. Before I go on to the next portion, is there anything that I need to answer that's come up?
Yes. So one person early on asked if you could show them real quick how to animate their slides. And I think that's a really cool feature too when you're presenting. But you can also do some really cool stuff with that. So I'm going to let you take from there. So animate. Let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, I typically don't do like too much animation, but there is an option in here to, hold on, give me a second.
Oh, you're good. I'll tell you this. Most of the time when I need to know how to do something, I go to help and I just type in what I'm trying to do. Even basic stuff. I'm like, sorry, I just type in help. People are popping in. I gave them the link in the chat to the presentation, which, by the way, is incredible. Unless I wasn't supposed to, then tell me, and I'll get them out of here so fast. I'll get out of here, mister.
They can stay. Okay, transition. When you're in edit mode, you should see in your toolbar. If this toolbar is ever not there, you just click on the Show Menus button, and it should pop up. So transition, you'll have motion come over here, and you can animate it. You can have it fade. Oh, come on. Select object to animate. All right. So let's say I want this to come in, or maybe I want it to fade out or spin. Spin is pretty cool. So if I were presenting, oh, it went too fast. We're gonna stop that. It's not wanting to spin. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't like to get bogged down in all the bells and whistles. And you can add animation to a presentation that you're putting on yourself and showing to the entire class, either through Zoom, remotely, or Google Hangouts. You can share your screen in both of those apps. Or if you're in front of the classroom, you could maybe add some animations. I think adding too many animations would make that ADHD student
they get distracted a bit. Yeah.
Clicking basics over and over again just to watch it spin.
That's so good. We had another question from Scott. He said, is there a Slytherin way to grade and post from here?
Oh, okay. I'm going to get to that too.
Okay, good.
And it may, I teach English, and I know why we lose English teachers so often. It's those essays.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Essays take forever. So troubleshooting, deleting slides. Sometimes the student will accidentally delete a slide. We actually had a student who just deleted a slide and turned it in and was like, oh, I thought if I deleted it, I didn't have to do it. No, you still have to. I think the best way to fix that is just message the student and then CC the parent.
Yeah.
Politely say, hey, it looks like you may have accidentally deleted this, and then fix it for them. And that will typically take care of that problem.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that undo or version history button is important for deleting that.
Yes. And that's up there. That's where the revision history is.
I couldn't hear you over the top.
No, you're good. I was telling them where the revision history was if they wanted to see it. It's up in the top middle where it says last edit. You click that and it'll show you every version. Or you can go to file and go to version history.
Yep. See version history. And you can even see who made the edits collaboratively. Not knowing X. This is going to take a little front end work, but it's something you could do in a couple of afternoons. Create a hyperdoc of short screen recordings with instructions on how to add a text box or drop and drag and upload and link things for students. There's probably, if you did some research on YouTube, probably already several videos that do that. But 30-second video, and then every time a student emails you, I don't know how to upload my audio, shoot them the hyperdoc. Have that in Google Classroom, and walk them through that as part of your your procedures at the beginning of school. Typing over each other, I think it's really important to talk about how to collaborate and what good etiquette is online. So
yes.
Having those conversations, internet safety and internet etiquette are something that should be part of any classroom discussion.
Yeah, and I actually have, if you guys need a resource on that, at tarveracademy.com/resources, like the first one, it's a lesson plan with videos and questions and discussion stuff for students on digital citizenship. So just go in, grab it, copy paste, pretend it's yours, do whatever you want with it, toss those videos in. Honestly, I'm gonna recommend teachers to go through that the first 2 days of class. And you can do that the first day of class, make it required for all your classes. They go through, they have that conversation, they understand, the right way to collaborate, the right way to communicate, privacy, everything that's regarding digital citizenship. So if you want that, it's at tarveracademy.com/resources. So go ahead. Sorry. Actually, I'll toss the dog in the chat while you're talking. Go ahead.
That is so awesome. I think it's something that's overlooked because most of us did not go to school to teach technology. We went for math or science or history. And so sometimes we forget to teach that component, but it's important for what they're doing with that math and science or that history or that English.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Needing to modify, again, assign it as an individual assignment. And then that's great documentation too, because you'll be able to show, hey, on this particular assignment, I reduced their number of questions or I gave them sentence stems. That's a good way to modify on this, is to create instead of having them do a reduced amount of work, create a sentence stem so that they have a starting point and then go from there. You can modify a Google Doc as much as you need to for an individual student. Distracted. You can use a browser locker. Some schools allow that. Google Forms now locks your browser in quiz mode if you're taking the quiz at school, I believe. Is that correct? Maybe not. Okay. I like to do this trick, especially when I know the kid is sat in my class doing YouTube instead of my assignment. I will jump on his document and just type him a little message. It says, hey, do you need some help? So he knows that I know.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah. And it's non-confrontational. And that's the wonderful thing. The moment they see your name pop up in that corner, they're like, oh, she's watching me.
Yeah. I'm not anonymous because I turn my computer and I act like I'm reading. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Overwhelmed. For students, only give them certain amounts of slides at a time, or assign, hey, only do slides 2 and 3 and 4 on Tuesday and 5 and 6 and 7 on Wednesday. That's how we handled a lot of that this past spring, is we would give them a whole week's worth, but then we would assign specific slides for a particular day. And if a student finished early and wanted to, they could continue on, but they knew they didn't have to finish it all at once. And then for you as a teacher, this is something I had to teach myself early on. I use a lot of Google Forms in here. Like I will link in a Google form and they will take a quiz. For example, let's see. On this particular one, at the end, they have the Google form quiz. I have them put their score in, but that's more for them to just have it there so that they can reflect on it. But the grade that I'm taking for the grade book comes from this Google form. It's a multiple choice quiz and it's already graded for me. If I am grading something like the drag and drop, I've made this super simple for myself so I can see, did they do this properly? And it's a quick, yeah, they did it, they get their credit. Or they've got 2 in the wrong place, they missed 2 points, what have you. I, as a teacher, don't feel like every assignment needs to be graded. There are some slides on here that are specifically for extra practice.
That's good.
To get them talking. I am not going to grade this slide. I'll look to make sure they did it and then send them an email. Hey, did you have trouble with the personal response? But it's practice so that they can come back in and then they can do the quiz at the end.
That's really good.
And that's the way I approach it. Not everything has to be graded. If it's practice, I'm not going to grade it. If it is something that I'm using for observational, hey, a checkpoint, a formative assessment to make sure they're on the right track, I'm going to make it completion points. If it's a summative, then I'm going to have to grade that. And there's no way around that. You can use a Google form to do that. Rubrics help a lot too, but there are some things, some written things that you're just going to have to sit down with Netflix on in the background and grade.
That's good. That's good. That's all. What's your favorite thing to watch on Netflix right now?
Oh, right now it's Riverdale.
Riverdale.
I'm also watching Supernatural with my preteen.
Okay. What season are y'all in?
She's on season 6. I've made it all the way to season 11 and then stopped because she wanted to watch it with me and catch up.
Is it still going? Like, is it still running?
I believe this was their last season. Maybe I'm wrong.
I remember whenever Jensen Ackles left Smallville, and like when I was in college, I think, to go over to Supernatural, and it's still going. It's like Supernatural has been the one constant since I got out of college, and that show has been going on. So it's impressive.
And then the character or the actor that plays Sam played a dean on Gilmore Girls and left Gilmore Girls to go to Supernatural. So
and wow, it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's a wonderful show, but yeah, I do binge watch a lot.
It's fair. It's fair. Good background music.
Yep. Helpful sites and apps. Pear Deck, I'm going to beg and plead my own because I've used it on my personal Google account, but I've not used it with my school one because it is an add-on. You'll go to add-ons. You'll get add-ons. I get a memo that says add-ons have been disabled by your administrator. And so I'm going to beg and plead to get Pear Deck because if you Google Pear Deck, if you go to YouTube and look up Pear Deck, you will find that it creates some really cool slides. It will create, this will be helpful for grading as well. Multiple choice that you will present just like you would a Kahoot or a Quizlet or a Nearpod or a Socrative. And they will, on their own device, answer the questions and you'll get that data. So it makes it takes it to a whole new level of interactivity. I like to use Carnival Slides and Slides Mania for my templates. They're phenomenal. You just Google those 2 websites. They're free. And everything that you saw today besides the Shakespeare piece, that's a standard Google slide. But everything that you've seen, Carnival Slides, Slides Mania, and then I just modify it. Understanding by Design, Google that for how to build these pieces, how to build these units. Google Draw, I have not located it on my particular toolbar, but I used to use it in the classroom all the time. I don't know if it's moved, but it's a great way with kids on their phones and tablets for them to actually draw and then insert a picture into a slide, or for you to draw and insert a picture into a slide. If you want for them to be able to handwrite their answers for a math piece, that would be a good way to go. And then Google and YouTube are your friends. I didn't figure any of this out on my own. I went to somebody else for help, experience. All right.
I love it. Meg, thank you so much. That was incredible. Oh my goodness. I feel like I've just ran hey, there's our StreamYard. That's what StreamYard looks like if you need to know. I feel like we have run the gauntlet of what Google Slides can do in your classroom.
What up? Hey guys, Tyler here, Tarver Academy. What's up, Tyler Tarver? How you doing? How you living? In the chat, tell me one piece of advice you have for teachers. What's one thing you've learned as a teacher or one piece of advice you learned as a student when you had teachers. I would love for you to tell me that in the chat, and let's all learn something from each other as we go. We're about to take a break right now. I'm gonna show some videos. I'm gonna let you kind of learn and say you don't have to go take a break, say you wanna sit at your desk. I'm not just gonna sit here in silence. We're not gonna play some Barry Manilow. That's not how Barry Manilow. What can I do? How about this, the greatest song ever made? Donna Lewis, I Love You Always Forever. I love you always forever, near and far, closer together. Y'all remember in the chat, what is the greatest song ever made? And that's actually the answer. Donna Lewis, I Love You Always Forever. Second best song ever made, Backstreet Boys, Everybody, yeah. And third best song is obviously, Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping. I don't know, I'm sorry. Tell me your top #1 favorite song in the chat if you haven't gone to take a break. I'm about to stop talking and I'm going to let you learn something or start a discussion or just hear some thoughts. If you leave for this part, that's okay. But if you stay, you're hopefully gonna get some value out of it. And then we'll jump right back in to the PD. Here we go. Hello there. I'm sorry, this is genuine, I meant that. So did you know that you can set up a temporary access for people on Google Drive files? It's true. Meaning you can set it up to where you share it with your class or other teachers and they only have access until a predetermined date and time, and then it cuts out the access. Cut away the carbs. I'm so sorry, what? Show the people, Tyler. Okay. So after you share it with somebody, you'll be able to see like they're sharing permissions. Then right over here where it says editor, you can click on that little chicken nugget, go down to give temporary access. What? And then I can choose when this little guy is done. You have no access after March 16th and you shall know. Click save and you're good. Now, keep in mind, this is only a feature if you are like a G Suite admin. Most schools have this, I would assume, if you're with a school, which is cool. Nailed it, first try. Follow for more tips and tricks. I want to give you the add-on that'll save hours of your week, and it's just the best. I'd also like to introduce my co-pilot on this magic carpet ride, this young man who will not go to sleep. Say hello, Finn. Let's learn about AutoCrat. That's right. What AutoCrat does is it takes information that is submitted into a Google Sheet, which it can be through a form or directly in a sheet, and it automatically fills in information based on whatever is in the sheet or the form. Does that make sense? Do a form, and it'll create this email, document, PDF. We can use it for a ton of stuff. Certificates, if you fill out one of my PDs at the end, it'll automatically send a certificate with your name filled in, the PD you did, the timestamp of when you did it, all of it. That is called AutoCrat. So I created one for professional development one time where when a teacher fills out what they want to take for PD, it fills in here, automatically adds up, emails it to the right people, and then we can all sign off on it. I created a 5-minute walkthrough that'll walk you through it. Link in my Instagram bio. Oh, did you know you can create virtual backgrounds for your Zoom to do bingo or activities with students or whoever you want, I guess? Let me show you how to do that. Go to the link in my Instagram bio. Click on the link. Click on, there it is, Canva. Goats, click on it. They have free accounts, so you ain't gotta buy nothing. Go to the search and type in Zoom and click on Zoom Virtual Background. You can choose from a plethora of different things. Happy birthday. Oh, look at that, Costa Rica. All these beautiful things. Let's maybe try this little chicken nugget. You can use this, you can change out stuff. Mr. T, that's me, Mr. T, Tarver. Low-key, do we know what Mr. T's last name was? Maybe it was Tarver. Related. You can put whatever their assignments are gonna be for the day. Get that download game. Oh, check this out, that's me. I can teach class, blah, 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 Pythagorean theorem. Follow for all the tips and tricks or else I'll delete your account. Hey guys, you wanna learn how to do video? First, you have to put up with me talking about how I like cards. This is Greg Maddox rookie card. That's what's up. Let's get to learning. I'm so sorry. I'm seriously getting back into it and I cannot help myself. We're gonna breathe together and we're gonna learn together. So most of you guys will use Screencastify or Loom to create video, and they're great for video. But you know who else is in the game that you might not know about? It's the people that you love for design, Canva. If you don't use Canva, so help me, you don't watch me. And you might as well just delete your account because Canva's incredible. Let me show you how to do it. First off, if you need link in my bio, I've got a link straight to Canva and you can get it. It's free, but they got pay versions. Just do the free one. Hit video, search video, hit video, pick you a template. I'm a little click. Then you just make sure you upload the video into there. Bam, hit videos. Bam, you can select it and drag it in there like this. Click. And then the video's in there. This is a video I made 12 years ago. It's gross.
It'll tell you how long it is right there, and you should download. I probably recommend an MP4. Now you got the video. By the way, my book dropped today. Hey, what's up? How are you today? So I want to show you a website that I let my students play if they were like caught up on something, if it was semester exams and they finished all their tests. It was a fun site that they could go to and play where it required some thought and some strategy, but also it was kind of fun. It was called Fantastic Contraption. And this is like the original that I like. You just hit play. And the goal is you're trying to move, look at this. You're trying to move these into this area. And you can build contraptions, but it has to be in the blue areas where you build it. So like here's one. You would try to get that ball into this area. So when you hit start, everything just drops. So you've got to build something that carries it over there. You have different things that do different stuff. They call it like an online physics game. And I taught math, so it was pretty fun. Let's see if this goes. Come on, little buddy. Let's go, little buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yes. Come on. Oh no. Oh no. Is that the song? Oh yeah, I got it. Boom. The game's free if you want to play it. I've linked it in my Instagram bio if you want to. Okay, here we go. We're rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. So the next thing that we're going to do together is we're actually going to create a daily student journal together, okay? And we're going to do that using a lot of the stuff we've already talked about. We're going to think through the process of what we want for our students, what we want that experience to be for them, and then we're going to create a resource out of that, okay? So we're going to kick into that, and we're going to do that right now. Here we go.
For some of you that are looking at becoming resource creators, whether just to help your school, help yourself, or maybe you want to sell them on Teachers Pay Teachers or just throw them out there for the world like I do, I would love to walk you through kind of my process to help maybe, hopefully just assist you and give you ideas and help you save time. So here we go. Let's walk through it. I'm starting from scratch, okay? The goal today is I want to make a daily student reflection journal. So I want something that's teachers, like I always want to think through like, what would a teacher use it for? When would they use it? Why would they use it? And my thought would be that they have their students start their day by filling in the boxes. They want to fill this in. Now, is it something that they're going to need grades on? Like, do I need to make it daily, weekly? How do I want to do it? I like to think that most teachers probably wouldn't do this frequently. And what I have noticed is a lot of teachers with regards to resources, they want the timeline for stuff like this to be 9 weeks, because with Google Classroom, they close out their class after 9 weeks so that the grades are accurate and updated. I'm sure Google's going to update that soon, but until then, they're archiving and redoing new classes every 9 weeks. So my thought would be to make a 9-week student reflection journal, daily reflection journal that they can fill out as they go. So I could start from scratch. I've done that on some resources. It takes forever. And so what I'm actually going to recommend to you guys is find resources either from yourself or from other people and duplicate them and then edit them. So much quicker, so much easier. Takes out a lot of that, like that upscale, like the stuff you're trying to do right off the bat and ramp up to. I like to picture it. It's like snowboarding. Oh, thanks, kid. Appreciate it, son. Bananas in it. Oh, I love bananas. It's like snowboarding. It's like really hard to start, but once you get the hang of it, you can do really cool stuff. It's like jumping in the middle where you can just like, okay, I'll make a copy and then I'll do cool stuff. So I'm going to do that. If you want to use my resources as like a launch point and then start adjusting them, you can. And I'm going to show you where I would go to get that. So here we go. So on my website, tarveracademy.com, you're going to go to resources, and then I want to go to templates and resources. So once you click on that, it's going to pull up all of my templates and resources. So I'm trying to think, what is the closest thing to what I'm doing here that I could do for students? And I think it's probably I would say my lesson plans. And so we want to go, we'll go weekly, and then I can just copy paste and make the new weeks. So I would click here. It would ask me to make a copy, and then I would make a copy of that. Okay, so I'm not editing my main template. I'm editing this version of it, okay? So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and adjust this, and I'm gonna change the title. So I wanna make sure that, let's see, it's loading up. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna title this Daily Student Reflection Journal. Now, keep in mind, I pulled from this one to start with, but you can always go and pull from different things that you've done, so you don't have to start from scratch. Like some pages, I'm going to grab that one page here, toss it over, do this here, toss it over. So this is kind of like my intro page that I always have. So I'll probably read that before I send it, but yours is going to be different. I don't want to waste your time. So daily student reflection journal. Sorry, there we go. We're going to move this over so that that fits. Okay, sweet. All right, here we go. We can see, let's think through. I like to think through every step of this process as I'm doing it. This is which teacher for which course. I wouldn't say week number. That's probably going to need to change. So what I'm going to do is I need to change that and see how I can't click it or anything. It's because I've got that on the master. So I'm going to go to view and I'm going to go to master. Oh, you need to see this larger. I'm so sorry, everybody. There you go. Is that better? Hope you haven't left. Yeah, well, I mean, if you heard that, you haven't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this. And I want to say, because we're doing about 9 weeks. So what we might do is just delete that. I don't think that actually serves as much of a purpose as I did originally when I made it. And then I'm going to move this stuff up. Okay. So this will be dates. And that way the students or teachers, based on what they want, can write in all that. Okay. So I'm going to click back out of it. All I got to do is click over here to the left, and that's going to bring me out of my master. And there we go. So teacher, what course it is, dates, and they can say first 9 weeks. They could say the actual dates. They can say weeks 1 through 9, whatever they want on that. And then they can add a quote. Navigation, I have this to where it jumps to that like week. I don't think we need to do that. So I'm going to click, might have been good to do the semester one. That way it navigates weeks 1 through 9. It's okay. That way I can show you how to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off and I'm going to add the other navigation, which is, let's see, here we go. Weeks 1 through 9. Awesome. Okay. So this will be navigation, and then I'm going to edit that master slide. So view master, and then I'm going to edit this. Okay, I'm going to take weeks 1 through 9 is already there. Take that, select those, delete. Then I'm going to select all these. And just to make it look prettier, I'm going to stretch them out to like right here. Let's see if that works. Boom, navigation. Navigation, no breathing. That's from a old song. Okay, don't listen to it. It's not very good. Okay, so now I've got the navigation, but then I'm gonna have to go in and attach the link so it actually navigates where I wanna go. This is my Google Help video. I always toss this in on the slides. It doesn't hurt anything. It's just a resource for them. Week number, and I can just say week 1. Okay, it's got a spot here where before you assign it, you can add stuff. I don't think we're gonna do week at a glance because we wanna serve the purpose of this is for students that are, oh no, I think I made this lesson plan in Canva. Let's see if I did. View, master. Oh no, I did it in here. Sweet. Okay, we're good. Okay, I think I got the idea from Canva. So what we'll do is we're gonna change this to daily reflection. We're gonna make that a little smaller. That's it. You're pretty much just going through and adjusting all this. So you have the date there. We don't want unit. I thought through some stuff beforehand, and you can change yours. And now if you make a copy of mine, you can go in and change those like this. Like you can change it. So let's go in. I have it set to where I want this to be yesterday learning. So what did you learn yesterday? How about this? What was your favorite thing you learned yesterday? It's a way for them to reflect on what they did the previous day, but I need to adjust that. Okay, we're going to do this. And then I'm trying to think through where I want everything. So I want this to be over here because I'm going to move it up to the top. And then I want, okay, so I've got, let's see, I'm going to do, how do you feel? So I want to do emojis. And then I want to do, what are you thankful for? And I want to list 3 things they're thankful for. What was your favorite thing you learned yesterday? And what do you hope to accomplish today?
So that means I'm going to have, let's just do this. Let's just do the thing. Okay. So I'm going to take this, move some text over here, and then I'm about to delete some stuff. Okay. So it's okay to delete stuff because, you know, this is your copy. You do whatever you want. Delete that, make myself some room. This is going to be one of my bottom 2 sections. I'm going to put that there, and then I need to turn this. If you hold shift and then turn it, it should keep it to where it's not like it sticks like this instead of like you can go anywhere. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Okay, here we go. Now we're cooking. Sorry, it took me a second to kind of figure out how I want to do this. I'm going to keep that logo there because, you know, I'll let your boy. And so, sorry, it's the logo for my book, the Baller Teacher book. Check it out. It's probably, well, it hasn't dropped yet, but if you're on the email list, I'll let you know when it drops. Okay, so we're moving that there. Okay, so I've got the text over the box. That's exactly what I want. And then I've got, what is your favorite thing you learned yesterday? I know that I said I wanted that question to come first, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, what's your favorite thing you learned yesterday? Let's see, is that the size I want? No, I don't want favorite capitalized. Okay, we're going to increase the size there. Oh, too much, too far. Mayday, mayday. Okay, so we're going to take that. We're going to move this. It's okay that it overlaps because remember, like these right here, this is where they can go in and fill in stuff and they can't on the other ones. Actually, I'm going to add a text box. So I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to add a text box. Click this, and I want it to be a, we'll do subtitle placeholder. And then we're going to put it right there. And then we want to adjust the default. I'm going to make that bold because it's just easier to see. And then I'm going to change the color of it to this. Okay, there we go. Favorite thing you learned yesterday. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I've got that section, so I want to create another section. So I'm just going to highlight all of it, hold Option, click, and drag it up. What that does is that makes a duplicate of whatever that was. Okay, so sick, we did it. Okay, all right, so I want this to be excellent. So that's actually what I want there. I think I'm going to make this left align. So I'm going to align that to the left. If I go too fast, remember you can pause, rewind, do whatever you want. I'm going to align this one to the left as well. Okay, and we need to change this one. Favorite thing you learned yesterday. And then this is, what do you hope to accomplish today? Okay. And again, if you don't like these questions, I've shown you this so that you can go in and adjust them later and make it the question you want. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go and we're going to drag this stuff back over. Okay, I don't want any of this. I'm trying to think if I need anything to put there. I don't, so I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to take, say I want to do top 3 from yesterday. So we're going to do top 3 things we loved. We're going to take this. We're going to move it here. I think I have a better option here. Watch this. Okay, so I've got something that I've done. Let's see if I've got it in here. Because I've done this. Yeah, here it is. Here we go. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to go back. You can copy across master slides. Keep that in mind. So I'm going to click here. And I'm going to toss that there. And I'm going to toss these in here. There we go. And this is what I call the thankful section. Oh man, I should have gotten the boxes. Oh no, wait, we don't want boxes. We just want to move this. Top 3, and we'll do numbers. There we go. Okay. Figuring it out. Sorry. Now I don't want this to be long because I want them to just make it short and sweet. Like, what are you thankful for? And I have read so many leadership books and productivity books and just how to be happier, mental health books, and they talk so often about how important it is for people to reflect on what they're thankful for. Having a daily gratitude journal or a way to express gratitude every day, it changes your mindset and the things that happen to you. So I highly recommend it. So list 3 things you're thankful for.
today. Let's say today so that they don't just write the same 3 things every day. There we go. What's 3 things you're thankful for today? Okay. And then I'm going to put some numbers in here. Is that cool with you guys? Everybody cool with that? We're going to go text box. We're going to put here. I'm going to go 1. Bodie. Voldy's gone moldy. That's from Harry Potter. I talk about Harry Potter too much. Sorry, everybody. Don't get hurt. We're good. Okay. So I'm going to go there. Okay, great. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm going to move it up to match it. Oop, did that match it? There we go. I don't know if I'm doing anything. I don't think I am. So are we moving? Okay. We're clicking. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's change the color of this because we're staying with this like navy red thing. So I'll make, since the text is blue there, we're gonna make the text red here. Okay, and I'm doing that on the first one because I'm just gonna duplicate it for the other ones. So watch this. Hold Option, click and drag. Copy paste is your best friend. Here we go. Is that a song? I feel like it is. In the comments, let me know what song it is. Or don't. It's okay. Okay. So there we go. We got that. Oh, they're a little off. Ugh. That's the only thing about slides is you can't like zoom in unless there's something I don't know about to see, like make it move just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here we go. We're moving. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. I think we're lined up. Okay, 3 things you're thankful for today. And then the last thing I want to add in, how do you feel? So let's say, let's do a how do you feel today? So I'm going to make a copy option. Oh, and then copy option. Okay. How are you feeling today? Okay. And then I'm going to change this around. We're going to make this box. No, it's going to be red. There's a lot of red at the top, so we'll keep it as is. Sorry. Okay. How are you feeling today? And then we want, should we do left align here? Probably should, since we did everywhere else. So there, make sure I did it here. Is that cool? Y'all cool with that? I think that looks okay. I like that left align. Okay, so now what I'm thinking to do is I think I'm going to add some emojis in this. And I think the easiest way to do the emojis would be if we click over here, I'm going to go to some of my other templates that I've got. So let's go to templates. I think I've got under slides templates, and it's my, I'll say digital notebook. We'll open that up. Okay. In my digital interactive notebook, is that it? Is that the one I have? I've got one where I've already got some emojis, but if not, you can just go to you can just Google emojis and hit copy and then paste them in there. As like you paste them as text, and then you can have students, whatever they need to do. Okay. I'm trying to think, should we put like a circle off to the side? That way they can drag the circle on top of whatever they want. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. I don't think it's under this one. I'm going to check because we're this far into it. But yep, I was wrong. It's not this. It is, what resource was it that I did that? To-do list, weekly lesson plan, not it. Digital notebook, intro slides, lesson plans. To-do list, maybe? What was it? Was it digital or notebook? What was it? I'm sorry. Let's see. Daily to-do. Maybe it was. I'm sorry. Maybe it was. Maybe I just gave up too soon. What was it that I did that for? We might have to just go find the emojis and put them in. It was something where you put like a scale. No, it's my bell ringers. That's what it was. My bell ringer template. Okay, we're going to it. I got it. Resources. And it's probably under bell ringers. Is it on checklist? Cheat sheets, forms, honor roll, presentations, bell ringers. It's got to be under here. Templates. Where is it? Well, let's just go to Tarver Academy. Can't go wrong with Tarver Academy.com/resources.
Science resources. Man, I got to put that in their resources folder. Easier to find. Where are you at, T? Where? Oh, I know why. Because no, is that why? Is it because I said horizontal? I need vertical? No, that's not it. Template slides. I'm sorry. I'm really shook. Templates on docs slides. No, it's okay. We'll go here and we'll make it and we'll find it. Okay. So bell ringer. Where you at, little buddy? Did somebody scrub my bell ringer work? Quote of the day template. I don't even know how to talk. There we go. So we'll do weekly. We're going to make a copy. So is it under quote of the day? Full semester, we want just a weekly one. It's going to be less. The reason I'm doing weekly instead of semester is because it has got less. The file size is smaller, so it's easier to load up on my computer, which is running my camera. Maybe let's look at our quote of the day, see if I did it correct here. Nope, I'm gonna have to add that in there. So sorry. Please forgive. Please forgive me. Okay. Okie dokie, load up. Here we go. So we'll take these and we're gonna copy. And then we're just going to paste them over into this one. Like I said, don't think that you cannot go across slides and put those in there. And so we're going to go ahead and post these. And we're going to do this. And then, do we want people to say they feel like trash? I mean, yeah, I think a teacher should know that. Like a teacher, I mean, don't try to, I think one of the problems is, like, I'm a pretty positive person anyways. Like I stay pretty positive. But I don't think that we should constantly like think that we have to be only positive, because sometimes people are feeling down, and it's good for a teacher to know that so that they can help them. Okay, so let's think this through. So if everything's right, they should be able to fill it in right here. We need to make a circle that they can drag over the top. They should be able to fill in here and fill in here. So let's click off of the master slide. Okay. Here we go. All right, so I had these to where I had like the date on top of it, which we don't need that. Oh man, come on. What am I doing? I gotta move this box to move this. Delete that. That way we can just have the date in there. They can fill in their date. Okay, so are they gonna be able to write in there? Yes. Are they gonna be able to write in there? Yes. Okay, they can't grab any of these emojis. They can write up here. Everything looks good. Okay, last thing we need is to put a circle on here. Is that daily reflection? I'm sorry, this bothers me. Daily reflection's up a little bit, date's down. I'm so sorry. We're gonna go to view, we're gonna go to master, and we're gonna move this down just a little bit. I'm so sorry, everybody. Bugging me. Okay, looks like it's good. I think we're good. That's good enough. At least it's centered. Okay. All right, so we have week 1. We don't need this. Big wins from the week. You could do that. Should we keep that on there? I mean, I'll leave it on there, and then people can take it off if they want. We need to put it at the end, though. So this will go up here. I'm going to delete the rest of these because I don't want to have to readjust those. And then let's do end of week reflections. That's not bad. We can keep that in there. Big wins from the week, end of week reflections. Okay, we'll keep those 2 on there. Okay, and so we need to add the circle. And let's do here, shapes, and we'll do a circle right here. And then we need to go and make it transparent in the middle. And we want to do circle this. We need to make it a thicker line. So we're going to go here and probably put like 4. That's pretty good. Let's see. Does that look like a circle? Okay. And then they can just drag it over how they feel. How's that? That's pretty cool, right? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna give a little bit of instructions off to the side. So I'm thinking we create a box. We'll just do this. And then we'll say We'll say inside of it, we'll say drag the circle over the emoji of how you feel today. Don't forget. Should we say something like, don't forget, let your teacher know if there's anything they can do to make you feel better? I don't know. Maybe that's not appropriate. If you want to add that, you can. I just don't think I'm going to make that call for everybody on the template. Okay, we'll do that. I'm actually going to move it up here. Nope, here. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so I always like to give instructions. It's one of the things I love about doing this vertical one is that you can give instructions off to the side, and I think that is super dope. So let's change the font to what we like. We like this Montserrat. I don't know how to say it. We'll make it bold so it's easier to see. We'll make the square look on brand. Make it this red. We'll make the text this navy, which we did, and then we'll make the outside border a little bit thicker. There we go. And then let's put an arrow in there. How's that? Is that cool with everybody? Go to shapes, arrows, this one. Okay. And then we'll do this. Okay. Just doing a little nitpicky right here. And we're going to change this, make it our color scheme. We're going to leave the gray on there. There we go. Sorry, it's bothering me a little bit. Let's go up, make the arrow correct, and then we can adjust everything else. Drag the circle of the emoji of how you feel today. Okay. All right. So we got 1 day. We need to do 5, and then we're going to make our navigation for the weeks. Okay. So remember, option, hold option, click, drag, boom. I could also just do like, I'm on a Mac, so it's Command C. For a Windows or a Chromebook, it's Control C. So Command C, Command V. Okay, so that's week 1. So now what we're going to do is we need to make 9 weeks of it. So I'm going to select the top one. I'm going to roll down, and I want to include my end of week stuff. And then I'm going to copy, hold Shift, click, and that's when you click, let go, and then you hold Shift and you click the bottom. It selects everything in between. Now I'm going to copy. And so now I want to place right here on the last one, hit paste. So that's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Now, they could always go in and delete that. Maybe we shouldn't do this. I think we're going to do weekly instead of 9 weeks. I'm trying to think, because you would probably want to give a grade on it every week. We're checking, you know what? Let's do 9 weeks, and if you want, they can delete it down. That's what we're going to do. That way, you can always give them more, and they can always cut it down. Okay? So there's week 1. We need to scroll down and get, sometimes I like to change the view, so I'll go to view and then go to, well, then I can't edit the number. So we're going to go in here. We're going to make this week 2. Okay, let's scroll down and get week 3. Week 3. So once you get it's like you start small and you build out, and then you can do a lot more, a lot quicker. And so that's nice. Week 3. Here's week 4. And we're going to roll down to week 5. And then we're going to go 6. This is nice because I did do 18 weeks. Oh my goodness. That bell ringer resource took forever because I had to like create content inside it. And every single day I had to change to a different video. What I do is at 6, so that's 7. Is that right? Make sure. Nope, this is 8. Why didn't y'all say anything? Just kidding. You're watching the video after the fact. It's not your fault. This is on me. Okay, and this will be week 9. Okay. Boom. Okay, so we got 9 weeks. Now the last thing we got to do is we got to build out a navigation bar. Oh wait, I got an extra week in here. Did I miss one? Let's see. Now I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to go to grid view. That way I can see it all at once a little easier. So here we go. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. I skipped 6. That's on me. That's on me. View back to take off grid view. We left out week 6 and watch how I'm gonna put it in there. We got week 6. I'm gonna take week 6. I'm gonna highlight it all. I'm gonna copy. I'm gonna delete. And then I'm gonna move up to where I missed it. Week, that's 5. So week 6 should go right here. Hit paste. Make sure we didn't overlap the wrong page. So we're good. Boom, 6 is in there. So we're rolling. Here we go. Week 7, 8, 9. Here we go. And then I got my little hello at the end. So we're going to change that to daily reflection journal. Bye, Tyler Tarver. I did that. By Tyler Tarver. Okay. So there you go. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. I think we've got everything we need. Oh, no, navigation, guys. Y'all gonna let me go without navigation. So here's how I do the navigation stuff. You want them to be able to click on this and then jump to that week. Here's what I would do. I create a box. So we're gonna do a shape and we're gonna do a box. And then we're gonna go right over the top of this. Okay. And then, so I'm over the top of it. And then I want to make it fully transparent. So transparent outside, transparent border. So it's like essentially an invisible box. Now, what I can do is I can right click, or I can actually hit Control K if you're on a PC or Chromebook, Command K if you're on a Mac. You can make it a short link. And then I want to link to a slide in this presentation. So this would be week, or they all say week 1? No, there they go. Okay, so cool. So we want to jump to week 1, boom, apply. So now I've done one of those. I'm going to copy. Actually, I can just hit Option, hold Option, drag, and drop. Option, drag, and drop. Now that I've done 3, I'm going to take all of them, Option, drag, and drop. Option, drag, and drop. Now they're all going to go to week 1 as of right now. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit them and I want to change them to the weeks they are attached to. So this will be week 2. So week 2, apply. We're almost done. We're on the last leg. And then I'm going to show you how I would set it up to where people can automatically make a copy. So week 3. Thank y'all for joining me on this journey. And I'm sorry you see looking at the side of my face. I usually put it like in the middle of my screen, but didn't do it. While I'm doing this, did you guys know that I am scheduling a ton of virtual PD for anybody that wants to attend? So essentially what we'll do is I'm going to film 42 sessions anywhere. The minimum is 3 hours. I think the maximum, I've got like a 3-day conference that we're going to do. It's like a digital educator conference. And all of them are going to be available for free at least once. Actually, I think my Google level 1 and Google level 2, I'm not going to do free once. So I'm going to just do two different times if you want to join those. But everything is going to play at least once for free. So you can join that. And then I'm going to have it's going to play 2 other times. It's like a premiere so people can join in live. Or I'll do it live 2 or 3 times, depending on, if I film it beforehand or not. But it runs like it's a live video. So you're like having conversations. I'm tossing links in. You're tossing in links, ideas. It's just a really cool community feel. And it guarantees that you watch it. Because one of the things your administrator cares about is that you actually sit through the PD. You don't just be like, yeah, I watched that 3-hour video and you're like cleaning your room. They want to be able to see that you actually participated. So it only runs live. Now, for the free ones, you can go, anybody can do that. You just sign up for the email list. It's tarveracademy.com/PD. tarveracademy.com/PD. But if you want to sign up for the premium one, which gives you access to all 3 air times, so you can attend any of them, sick, which is awesome. And I would like it because then, put some money behind it. So the more money I have, the more resources I can produce. Let's check and make sure these work. So boom, I click it, go to there. It's going to jump to week 5. We did it. Look at this. I'm going to make this 9 weeks. So we know 9 weeks. There we go. But anyways, I'm going to do premium PD as well. So if you want, check out tarveracademy.com/PD. You can sign up to get the free version, or you can click on the link on there and sign up for the premium one. I would not recommend you pay out of your own money. It is a super affordable. As an individual, I think it's like $38 to get access to all. It's probably over 500 hours worth of trainings this summer. that you have options for, you shouldn't sit through all of them because they're three. Don't do that. I mean, it's 162 like unique hours. So that's pretty cool. But if you stuck with me for this long in this video, you should come because that means we got a connection. We bros, we people. Okay. We's each other's people. But you can do $38 for an individual and I get you access to all of it. Or, which is what I think is the smartest one, you can get your whole building to sign up for it. And then that way, every teacher in your building can attend all those sessions. So that's what I got. Here is where we are. Now, if I wanted to share this to where people could make a copy, I need to go to share. I need to make sure that anyone with the link can view. So I'm going to change it. I don't want just Tarver Academy. I want anyone with the link can view. I'm going to hit done. So anybody can be a viewer. And now I'm going to go up here to the top and I'm going to go to where it says the word edit. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to write the word copy. Now this link, if I give this link to somebody and they click it, it's going to make a copy for themselves. There we go.
What up? Welcome back. Hey, Tyler here. How are you doing? How are you feeling? In the chat, let's do emoji check. And how are you feeling right now? Have you learned? Oh, no. To this point, what is something that you are going to try in your classroom or implement that you might not have wanted to, an hour or two ago? What is something you're wanting to implement in your classroom? Put that in the chat right now. I'd love to see it. I know the other people in the chat would love to see it. I know it'd be some great input. So throw that in the chat and then you can also copy paste and put in your notes just so you don't forget. Make sure everything you're doing, you're keeping notes of. Keep links to it, all of it, because I want you guys to be able to access and actually make your classroom better. I've sat through enough PDs in my life, professional development in my life, that I don't remember one thing from. I pray that you walk through this. I am hoping that you get something out of this training that you can take and use, once a day, once a week, once a year, once a decade, something that you use and implement, whether it's a mindset or a skill set or just any type of framework to build your classroom and make things better. Okay? Speaking of making things better, making ourselves better, I do want to give you, some thoughts on something that I offer, a community that we have at Tarver Academy that I think could add you a ton of value. It could help you get better all year. Because right now we're getting better with PD, with professional development. Hopefully you're getting better right now. This summer you're gonna hopefully glean some information, some knowledge, some experience, and you're gonna get a little bit better. I want us to get better all year. I want us to get better all throughout the year. And here's the thing with teachers. We do not have time to go sit through a 6-hour professional development once a week. So what I did was I created a community called Tarver Academy. And it was based on teachers telling me they wanted resources. They wanted a continuation of these trainings, of templates, of resources. They wanted to be handed to them because if you go out and search for it, you're gonna find random stuff. They wanted stuff that could be applied to their classroom, that they can sit there, bite-sized professional development for busy teachers. That's Tarver Academy on a roll. And I would love for you to join if you want to. If you don't have to, don't pay for it. It's not very expensive at all, but I don't want you to have to pay for it. I would rather you use your district's professional development money. So if you want, have them go in, order that for you. What happens if you sign up for the Tarver Academy on a roll? What it's gonna do is it's gonna add you value. Do you wanna get better as a teacher every week, but not have to go out and search for it? How about if we just hand it to you in an email? In the email, every week, you're gonna get either a template, a resource, you're gonna get a short PD video, professional development, a training to show you how to do something you might not know how to do, or reinforce something you're maybe already trying. You're gonna get something that makes you better every week, plus some quick tips, links to some other things, and also you can ask me questions. I have a mailbag where you get to ask questions, and that's the list I'm gonna pick from first. I wanna help you guys. If I don't know how to do it, I'll do the research for you. I'll build it. You're like, oh, I really wish I had a digital interactive notebook. Guess what I'll do? I'll go in and I'll build digital interactive notebooks and I'll give you the template. You don't have to pay teachers. You don't have to go in and throw the money at anything. I want to just hand it to you. And I want to do trainings for you to help you. So if you want to join that community, I think it's super helpful, and it's essentially where I become the tech facilitator for you. It's Netflix for teacher resources, and I would love for you to join and jump on that. So if you want, go there. It's tarveracademy.com/on-a-roll, and you can sign up for that. And I think it's just going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge help to teachers throughout the year who have a lot going on and not a lot of time, extra time to go out and do it. It's like as teachers, they always give you more stuff to do, but they don't give you like, oh, here's like an extra 3 hours a day to go out and do whatever it is you're going to do. So if you want to sign up for that, you can. I hope you've used this time also to use the restroom. So if you're just getting back using the restroom, guess what? We've just been talking about Tarver Academy Honor Roll. No big deal. But I want to give you guys time to go do that and get a snack if you need it. Whatever you need to do, we're about to kick back into, we're about to jump back in it. We're gonna fall back into the gap, fall into the gap. Man, do y'all remember that? That was a good campaign. That was memorable. Wasn't it? Memorable? Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're about to get started. We'll get started here very soon, and we're gonna jump back in, we're gonna keep learning. All right, let's do it. Let's go. We're still doing this. In the chat, here we go. In the chat, I want you to tell me the name. Okay, ooh, don't say that. I was gonna say, tell me the name of, you know what? You can do that. Tell me the name of a teacher who made an impact on you and what they did. Why did they have an impact on you? In the chat, what name of a teacher or an educator that had an impact on you and what they did to have an impact. It was either the way they treated you, the way they ran their class, or the way they inspired you, or just the way they had structure maybe. They were reliable, they were consistent. I would love to hear in the chat, name of a teacher that motivated you as a student or as another teacher and what they did. So let's throw that in the chat and we're about to get started. We're gonna jump back into it. We're about to get started. We're gonna jump back into it like a pogo stick. See that? See what I did there? Nope? Okay, all right, let's get going.
All right, so we created the resource. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to take that resource you created and put it into Google Classroom and assign that for your students. We're gonna take what we've done and we're gonna put it out there. So it's the full, we're closing the loop, as they say, on this assignment for students. So let's go ahead and look at how to do that.
So here we go. Let's walk through. I'm going to walk you from like getting the resource to uploading into Classroom to any thoughts I have on the process of assigning this. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to tarveracademy.com and you can click on resources. Okay. If you're on the honor roll, which you probably are, if you're here, you can go into the membership side and click on it as well. You can watch the walkthrough there. So we're going to scroll down to Daily Student Reflection Journal. It's under Resource or Template. Daily Student Reflection Journal. We're going to click on it. We are going to make a copy. Remember, when you make that copy, I no longer have access to it. So don't be like, hey, Tyler, can you adjust this? I can't. I don't have access. And don't worry about me seeing what you put on there. You can go ahead and delete this entry page. And it's not going to hurt my feelings because I won't see it. I mean, it hurt my feelings a little bit. I can feel it when you do it, but I don't know it for sure. So if you want, that's just some information on that. And then we are gonna roll. So here's the thought behind this. You're gonna go in, you can delete this front page, okay? And then once you delete that, you take that out. You can leave it in if you want, just like a welcome to your students, and they can follow me on TikTok or Instagram, whatever. Okay, here's the main thing. You wanna go and add your name. So I could say, you know, Mr. Tarver. You could say, you know, 8th grade history. Add that on there. Dates, I set this up originally as in 9-week chunks because I found it that a lot of teachers, because I was doing weekly and I was doing full semester, but a lot of teachers are going to clear out their Google Classroom and start a new one every 9 weeks because that allows the grades to reset. You can adjust it. It's just copy, paste, or delete, and you can adjust it, but I've got it set up originally for 9 weeks. So we could say first 9 weeks. And then a quote. What's a good quote? What is it? Be the change you want to see in the world. You can put whatever quote you like. I like man in the arena. That's my favorite quote, but you guys know I love quotes, bell ringers. Who said this? I don't know. We'll give credit to Teddy. Ben Franklin pretty much said everything, right? This is not correct. Don't at me. I'm sorry. So there you go. This, remember, you don't want to get specific based on student. This is what we're going to create a copy for every student from. So keep in your mindset, this is generic. It's specific enough to be my class, but generic enough to be applied to every student, okay? Then you go to this one, important links. If you want, you can add like your grade book, put a link to that, or not grade book, like in Arkansas, they use Hack, eSchool, whatever. You can link to that. You can link to other websites you like. Say you like,
Say you like Crash Course on their YouTube. You can link to Crash Courses. This is just for you to be able to put like links they can refer to. I put this at the front of every single assignment because I feel like it's really good for students to be able to go and have like a hub they can always refer to. All right. This right here is navigation. So as you get going, I don't want them to have to scroll a lot. They can just click on it and it'll jump to whatever week it is they're working on. So it's kind of a navigation bar. Again, you can delete that if you trim it down to like 1 week. That's fine. But here we go. Google Help videos. These are links to tutorials for students. I kind of geared it around. These are the main things that students struggle with. And then we roll into this. Okay. Week 1, you can add information there. Remember, you're assigning it for the whole 9 weeks. So if you can plan ahead and see things that they need to do, or you can just type something encouraging in here. Say, looking forward to our first week together. Please don't hesitate to contact me for anything. Okay. And then I need to spell hesitate correctly. I'm going to get blasted. You can say whatever you want. Put that in there. It's kind of like your notes page for them whenever they hit it. Remember, you're not going to be able to bulk edit them. I think there's an app I heard about recently I'm going to check out where you can, but I haven't tried it out, so I don't want to vouch for it. Okay, so let's go into what a student is going to do. And if you want to, you could actually start at this part of the video and show this to your students so they can see what's expected of them as they're filling out their daily journal reflection, okay? So here we go. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is a day on it. Now, they can pick under date if you want. They can just put Monday. I like them to say Monday, which, let's see, January 4th, okay? There you go. And they can say 2021. We got room? Yeah, we do. Okay, so whatever you want, you choose, tell them, and then they can follow through on that. You're not going to need to fill this out. The students will fill this out, okay? So keep in mind, you would have stopped right here, and then we'll do what we're going to do later, but I'm showing you how to fill this out. And also, if you're a student, I'm showing you how to fill it out correctly. Next thing you do is, how are you feeling today? This circle moves. You click it, drag it, and move it over the emoji of how you feel. Then you want to add 3 things you're thankful for. This is super, super important for you to daily think of what you're thankful for. It changes our mindsets. A lot of people, you've probably met people that have a negative mindset. This is something that allows you to kind of reframe every day and think, you know what, there are things I'm thankful for. You could say, and you want to mix it up every day. You can say like my family, you know, my English grades, you know, whatever it is, you can put that in there and adjust it. Okay. Add 3 things you're thankful for. Next is, what was your favorite thing you learned yesterday? It is very important for us to reflect on what happened yesterday. How many times do we wake up in the morning, we have no idea? I don't even know what I ate for lunch. I don't know who I talked to. I don't even know where I am right now. You want to go in and think about what's something I learned yesterday, and tell the students it's okay to look through your notes. Go back and refresh. It's going to automatically make them look into what they were doing and maybe kickstart that for today. So they would just say, you know, I liked learning about slope. Rate of change is cool. Change, let's say, is fly. You get it? Because it can, okay. All right. Then what do you hope to accomplish today? I'd like to make up missing assignments. Okay. And they fill it out. They don't have to write full paragraph unless you want them to. I think it's better. The short and sweet is really nice. And remember, your teacher is going to have access to this, this right here at any time, even before you turn it in. So if you're on there and you say you need to notify your teacher, what if you're in here and you're like, you know what? I want to tell my teacher about this and make sure it's correct. You can highlight it, right click, and then go to comment. And then if you type the @ symbol, just like how you tag people on Instagram, you can put the @ symbol and then put your teacher's name, Leanne Pinkerton. And then you could say, is this right? And then you can assign it. That way it will email your teacher and you can ask them those questions. So that's a really cool feature that you can do using Google stuff. Okay, so you can add comments. Don't restrict yourself to think that this is a one-dimensional thing that you're working on. I don't know if that's the right term, but there we go. Okay, so I'm going to delete these because if you're a student, you can stop watching now. Teacher, if you're playing this for your students, they can stop watching it. But then I'm going to show the teacher how to go in and I'm just going to hit undo.
I'm going to show the teacher how to assign this to everyone. So if you're a teacher, stick with me. We're about to assign it. Take the date out, and then I think we're back to normal. There we go. We can take all this out. Okay, remember, we're keeping that in. We do need to spell hesitate correct. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, now we've got our template. I'm going to call this, and you could label it, you know, let's say 8th grade history, first 9 weeks. Okay, and then I'm going to delete this, just delete this. There we go. All right. Now, what do we do from here? How do we assign it to our students? If you're using something besides another LMS besides Google Classroom, I can't really help you, but if you are using Google Classroom, that's where we are going to go. So we're going to go into Classroom. I've got my History of Magic class. I'm going to go to Class Work. Okay. Then I want to go to Create, and then I'm going to create an assignment. Okay, because they are going to get a grade for this. So this would be first 9 weeks, and this would be our daily journal reflection. And then you want to give clear instructions. Say, you know, every morning, go into the day. Every morning we'll say this. Let's number it. I love numbering things. Every morning. 1, go to your journal. It's attached. Then you say, fill in your thoughts / reflections on the day. Then you say, do not turn in yet. 4, after we've finished the first 9 weeks, turn it in. It is for a grade. Okay, now we need to attach that assignment. So we're going to go to Add, and then I'm just going to go to my Google Drive. I love taking this shortcut because Google Drive is going to default to your most recent stuff you've done. So I'm going to click on this. It is the most recent. I'm going to insert it. Now, this part is important, you guys. This is very important. Y'all ready? You don't want all the students to just look at it because then you're like telling them to make their own file and then you can't see it. You want to click this and you want to say make a copy for each student. Click that. Okay. Now, how many points? This should be worth a lot. Let's make it worth 200 points, not 0, 0. 200 points. Due date, we're going to pick the end of the 9 weeks. So let's say 9 weeks ends. When does 9 weeks end? Let's say it ends March 31st. I don't know when it ends. We don't have to put a time. We'll just put that date. And then the topic. This is something you don't want to put it under like a week or a module. Because there's 2 ways that a lot of teachers do their topics. And if you don't do topics, you need to do topics. They're super important. They'll do it either by like chapter and module, or they'll do it by like, these are all week 1 things. These are all week 2 things, or even by the day. So time or by like chapters or organization. Either one of those, I recommend this is its own topic. You can title it Bell Ringers. You can title it Daily Reflection. Honestly, I'd probably put it under Bell Ringers if you've already got Bell Ringers, but if not, you can put Daily Reflection Journal. Make it its own topic. That way it's easier for them to find. Okay, and then I can assign it for that class, all students in that class. Boom, I've assigned it. Now, what that does is, remember, it's going to make its own copy for every single student in the class, and you can go in and look at what they're doing at any time throughout the semester. So if you want to check on like week 3 to make sure they're taking it serious, they're actually filling it out, all you'd have to do is you could go to your classes, and then over here in the bottom right, you see that folder? You're just going to click on that folder, and then you're going to find that assignment, and you're going to be able to see every single student's journal and look at it at any time. Let's see, where is it? There's digital notebooks, template. There it is. Journal reflection. It's going to create it. It's already assigned it to all of the students. And I can go in and look at Draco, Harry, or Ron and see how much they've completed at any point throughout the 9 weeks. So those are my thoughts on how to implement this. I hope this helped. I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, hit me up. If you're on the honor roll, you can hit me up and I can go through the mailbag. You've got it on the email and you can ask that question. Hope y'all be good. Stay sweet. If you want to subscribe, you always can. Holla at your boy and never stop learning.
All right, we're on the last part of this session as we learn Google Slides for intermediate learners. And this last section, what we're gonna do is I'm not gonna do a full walkthrough, but I'm gonna show you a resource that was created in Slides. And think of it, remember, it's like a digital workbook almost that you're giving your students. I would use this for bell ringers. You could use it for, we've talked about daily reflection stuff. We've talked about all these different resources. Think of how you can adapt this. You can even delete my videos, put your videos in. Think of this resource, how you can use it. Or if you want, if this quote of the day resource fits for you, boom, you've got it. Go in and just start assigning it. Make a copy and it's yours. So I've got that resource for you. If you need any help getting to that, let me know. I've got all the links and resources at tarveracademy.com/resources. Thank you guys so much, and let's learn and have fun.
All right, let's jump into it. So today we are going through a bell ringer quote of the day resource. It's like a template you can put into Google Classroom, and I'm going to walk through the whole process for teachers of what they need to know. So to get the template, I'll have it on my website, tarveracademy.com/resources, but I just finished it last night, so I haven't put it on there. But I do have it in my Instagram bio. So if you go to the link in my Instagram bio, and then you're going to scroll down, and it's going to be right there. Quote of the day assignment template. Now, I've got it full semester. I'm going to have this where it links to a page where you can choose weekly, or you can pick the full semester. But whichever one you click on, it's going to ask you to make a copy. You go ahead and make that copy. Remember, this becomes your copy. I do not have access to it. It is 100% yours. I don't touch it. I don't have it. Okay? So what I did was I went with the same thing as we did on the lesson plans and the digital interactive notebook. I went like it was a trapper keeper, like its own binder, like a vertical. I didn't go this way like a slideshow. I went vertical. So in this, it's got a little letter from me, got some links on there if you want to check it out. And then this right here, this is the this is our walkthrough for students. So students can have that video. You can paste that video in there. They can watch that to know how to complete this assignment. I'm going to show you how I would do that here in a second. Now, whenever you do this, before you assign it, this is pre-assigning it. Now, you can do this weekly or full semester. So if you're going in, the name, that's them. They're going to fill their name out, okay? And I explain that in the video on how to do that. For subject, you put your subject. So you would say, let's say it's 7th grade history. And then you could put a quote for your class. I like Theodore Roosevelt's Man in the Arena. I think that's my favorite quote. But you could fill in your favorite quote for your class, quote for the week, whatever it is. Like we do with all my resources, here's an important links page. You can go in. If you've got any of my other resources, like the lesson plans or the digital interactive notebook, you can just copy paste those links into here. You could put your school website if you have like a place where they check their grades online, any other websites or resources or YouTube channels you use besides this one. Hey, what's up? Like and subscribe. Okay. Then here is the Google Help videos. It's for students if they have trouble submitting, doing anything. I've got it all on here. Where's my photo? It's not showing up. I got the new Google Meet photo and it's not loading, but it's fine. It'll be there. So from here, this is our navigation. If you're doing full semester, they're not going to want to scroll through like 200 slides to find it. And so what they can do is they can just click on this and it'll go directly to where they need to go. Now, keep in mind, once you submit this to your students, you will not be able to edit it. So I'm going to show you how to put it in Classroom and then make it for every student so they can fill out this notebook. It's like handing them a workbook and then they go work on it. Once you hand them the workbook, you can't go in and change it in bulk. You can go change individually, check on them individually, but you can't go in and just change them all. Once you hit submit, go for it. So if you're not comfortable with that, I recommend assigning weekly. So that's what I would recommend. All right. Now, right here, this is a completion checklist for students. Whenever they complete something, I've instructed them to go in and they click on it. I've got an invisible box there, and then they do the paint filler and show me that they completed it, or show you that they completed it. Boom. And they would just fill in every day that they go in, they would fill this in. And I've even got instructions on it right here showing, boom, how to do that. Okay. And then there's a quick video. There's the second 9 weeks. And then week 1. Load up, little guy. Sorry, I'm running off my hotspot because I'm staying at a hotel and their entire internet went down. I'm like, what in the world is happening? So it looks better than this, but it's just not loaded. Let's hit refresh, see if we can get it making looking clean. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching live, it means you're part of the Patreon membership. If you're not watching live, then you can always join to become a Patreon member. It's going to be the greatest investment you ever make in your life. Okay, so week 1, they'd roll into the week. You can put stuff there if you want to. You don't need to. It could be notes for you or for them. But then this is the meat and potatoes, if you will. This is where they get in and they fill out their page for the day. So if you're doing this like a bell ring, you could do it as a daily assignment. You could do it as a daily check-in. It could be a bell ringer. It could be all of the above for your classes. What they're going to do is they're going to go in day by day, not all like, oh, I need to finish all this in a week. Don't do that. Well, they could if you wanted to. But the idea is that it's incremental. They're daily thinking and processing and giving their opinion on stuff. So they would go in and they watch the video. Now, Google Slides will not let you type while you're watching the video. So the video will play. The video will play. They can't take notes right here while they're doing it. So what I've done is I've instructed the students to take notes on paper and then listen to the whole video and then go in and put their answers and quotes and stuff like that. So it almost keeps them occupied in multiple ways. So they're not just like typing all the time. They're doing a combination of video and typing. But then I also showed them that they could click on YouTube right here, and that would show the video. And so now they could listen to it and type at the same time. So there's a couple options. Here is on the right, this is where they can take notes. They can put in whatever they want, helpful, talkative, stick to your, morals. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. So they type their notes there. They retype the quote here. And a lot of times I have the quote on the screen as like a text. Some of them I don't. It means they have to listen. Okay. They can't just like freeze frame it and be like, what's this quote? The quote stops here. That's not the quote. I'm sorry. Should have been whatever the quote was by Albert Einstein, I think. Then here's where this is the most important box for them. This is where they give their thoughts. They're summarizing their thoughts on the quote. I liked it because of this. It made me think of this. It relates to me like this. I have a video on how to do personal application. And this is what I kind of tailored it around, was how do they apply what I said to them as a person? And I say that in the video, like, how does this relate to you and where you are? Okay, that's where they would write it. This made me think about how I can work harder in my classes and not make excuses. Okay, it's always nerve-wracking whenever you type something in front of people. So we're going to do that. Sorry, I know how to make excuses. I just did. Okay, here we go. Now, this part is kind of fun. I like this, and I think it's cool because you get to see a scale of students. So on the top line, this is how much do you agree with Tyler? Because in every quote of the day video, I go, hey guys, this is Tyler. I'm going to give you the quote of the day. I'm going to give you my thoughts, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, discussion, however. And I give my thoughts, and then I remind them at the end that I want their thoughts. This is how much do you agree with Tyler? So you would either drag the thumbs down or the thumbs up, and the students are going to drag it onto the line and put it where they agree with me. So it becomes like a rating scale for students to rate how much they agree with me, because that's, that happens in life. You agree with some people, you disagree with some people. On the bottom one, this is how much they like the quote. And they have emojis, either sad face, heart face, smiley face, fire, or trash. And so they can pick one of these. They can drag it over to the line. They can talk about how much they liked it. And that's it. They're done. Oh, they should have put the date in here. And I talked to them about that in the student one. What are we at? Let's say November 3rd, 2020. Hey, might be an important day. I spelled November wrong. So there we go. So they would go in and they fill all this out. Now, that's how the student would do it. You, whenever you're doing this, you're not going to fill all this out. Like, you're not going to put all this in here. You're going to leave these blank. Sorry. I was just showing you. I guess I could hit Z. You're not going to put all those in there. Students are going to be the ones filling these out. So you need to know your job is to put it in Google Classroom or whatever LMS your school is using. So I filled it out to the point where I've got my class name on here, 7th grade history. That's really all you have to do. I was showing you that so you can see the student process, but really all you have to do is go in, put the title of it. And if you're doing full semester, boom. If you're doing weekly, you would do that for the week. And then you're going to go to Google Classroom. So I'm going to go into Google Classroom. I'm going to title this First Semester Quote of the Day Notebook, Mr. Tarver's Class. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my class. I'm going to go to classwork. I'm going to go to create, and I want to create an assignment. Now from here, it would say daily bell ringers. Let's see, fill in all of the information every day. Make sure you're doing the checklist. Okay. I don't think they'll have a ton of questions. Let's go ahead. We're going to add our resource. I'm going to hit add, and I'm going to go directly to Google Drive, because when you created that copy, it went into your Google Drive. And so now I can go in, I can grab it and insert it. Okay. Now here, this is important, guys. You don't want students to just view the file. You want students to each have their own copy. So make a copy for each student. Now, it wouldn't hurt for you to go in and get that video. Now, I know it's in there, but it wouldn't hurt for you to go in here and you can grab this link. So you can just like right click on it and then copy link address. And then you can go, hold on, I'm going to X out of that because I'm yelling in my ear on the video. So I'm going to add that video link. So I'm going to go to YouTube and I'm going to go to URL. I'm going to add that video link. Boom. Okay. So instructions are in the video. Okay. That's pretty simple. All right. So you've got that. Make sure you go over here and you adjust all the stuff you need to adjust. So how many points? I mean, this is going to be a full semester, so I'd make worth like 200 points. You could do due date. You could do, let's see, you don't want to make the end of the semester. So let's say I did this first semester is December 25th, Christmas Day. Eesh, that's not a good time. And topic, I would put this under either bell ringers or important links and materials. You don't want to attach this to if you're sorting your Google Classroom topics by week, doing them weekly would be perfect. You could just attach that at the top of each week, and then you're done. Or you could put it under, like, since I'm doing full semester, I'm putting it under classroom resources, because that's something that is things they need to access throughout the entire semester. Okay. And once you hit assign, it's going to make a copy for every single student in your class. And so they're going to be going in, it's building out that thing that we walked through. Everybody's going to have their own. And you're going to be able to go in and see that at any time. I'm going to show you that. So we got daily bell ringers. We're going to put, let's see, I'm going to go to Google Drive. Actually, I don't have to go to Google Drive. Watch this. I forgot they added this in. So I'm going to go to my classes. I'm going to hover over that class, and I'm going to click on this folder right here. That folder takes it to where that Drive folder is that all those are created in. So I find that assignment, daily bell ringers. I could click here, and boom, my student, Hermione Granger, you would be able to see every single student for your entire class with their name dash the assignment name. And you could go in at any time. I go in and look at, okay, how's Hermione doing? Is she doing her assignments? I can look at her completion checklist, and then I can message her if I need to. That way she knows that I'm watching it. So there you go. So I can just scroll down and be like, okay, are they completing this? Checking it off. Okay. So that's what you do.
We did it. We did it. We learned something. Did you learn something today? In the chat, I want you to put the thing that you are taking away from today. Put one thing in the chat right now that you have learned or that you have realized or that's reinforced something you think. Put that one, that I like to call this the golden nugget. Put the golden nugget from today in the chat. And that way, if somebody's missed it or they checked in, go ahead and you guys can copy paste what other people put. If there's some advice, you can screenshot it. Get this. I want you to throw in the best thing you learned today. It's like a best of highlight reel for your favorite thing that happened during this training. Toss that in the chat right now so we can share and grow together. Okay, we're about to do the evaluation. Before we do, I want to remind you, if you want access to this entire training at any time throughout the year, not just these live broadcasts, you can join the Tarver Academy Honor Roll. Why'd I do this? Hey guys, Tarver Academy Honor Roll. It's like Netflix for teachers. Netflix for teachers, because you have resources, you have templates, you have PDs, trainings. It's literally like a library of trainings, and then access to ask questions, to request resources that I build and send out to teachers all around the world. So tarveracademy.com/honor honor roll. If you want to join the greatest community on the planet, and I'm not biased at all. I mean, all of us, you're on the honor roll. You want to be on the honor roll? Sick. Let's all be on the honor roll. And I'm a dean, so keep me on the dean's list. Hey, that works. Okay. All right. Now it's time for your evaluation. I'd love to get your thoughts on what you thought for this, but also I'm going to send you a certificate saying that you sat through this training. You put in the time. You wanted to learn. You wanted to grow. You wanted to get better. This is going to be a certificate that I'm going to email to you. What I need you to do is I need you to go to the link on the screen or hover over the QR code with your phone. Get your phone out, hover over it. It's going to ask you a few questions. If you don't get this, it means that you put your email address in wrong. Make sure, please do not rush this. Type your email address in correctly. Please, I'm begging you, because if not, you're gonna email me, I never got my certificate. It's because your email address is wrong. Type in your email address correctly, fill it out, fill out your name, make sure you capitalize, make it look good, because it's gonna fill into the certificate from this. So I need you to put this in correctly, please. Okay, go there, we're gonna walk you through it. Go into this, click on the link, or is it, you can't click on the link because it's on a video. Type in the link on your computer or type it in on your phone or whatever device you have. Scan the QR code, fill it out. I'm gonna send you a certificate with a timestamp on it saying what time you ended. You have proof from earlier if you sent in to the other link of what time you started. And then you also got your notes and all the stuff you've learned, your screenshots, all of that to show your administrator or whoever, your spouse. You show your friends, show people on the streets, all the learning that you did. You can frame that certificate. I think we're all getting framed. You get a frame, I'm getting framed. I'm gonna put it up on my shelf. I got too much stuff on my shelf already. So look at this, Lonzo Ball rookie card. If you got any, by the way, you got any basketball cards you want to sell? Hit me up. I've been slightly obsessed with basketball cards, and I apologize for bringing it up. Look at this. This is all Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, I mean, he's the GOAT. Everybody says it. Who's in the chat? Who is your favorite basketball player of all time? I'd love to know. If it's Lonzo Ball, it's quite the coincidence because I had it sitting on my desk. If not, it's probably this guy. Probably this guy right here. See that guy? That's Michael Jordan. No big deal. It's whatever. Don't like to brag about it. I mean, it's not that expensive, that card. But if you got any cards you want to sell, holler at me. I don't know why I said that. I'm just stalling so you guys can fill out your evaluation. All right. Y'all feel good? I'm gonna leave this on the screen for you for a little while in case you had to step out for a second. I'm gonna leave this up. Thank you again so much for your attention and your time and everything that you put into learning and growing with us today. I'm Tyler. This is Tarver Academy. Let's learn to have fun. See you guys later.